Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Shutterfly. If you're like us, you take a lot of pictures because you have a camera right in your hand all the time. How would you not take a lot of pictures? And we're taking all these pictures, more than we've ever taken in the history of the world.
What are you going to do with them all?
That's the thing. You used to get a solid picture, and then you'd look through them, and you could enjoy them. Now they're like back on your camera roll. You can't even find them. You don't want that. That's why the cool thing you need to do, and what I did, and I think it's pretty cool, is create a Shutterfly photo book.
Oh.
What I did, and you're going to enjoy this, Jimmy, because I haven't showed this to you yet, but took all of our pictures from being on tour this year.
Oh.
All live show pictures, us backstage, us on stage, doing all that stuff, and like some of the venues and things, and made a little photo book out of that. Also, they have free 24-hour designer service as well. With their 24-hour designer service, a professional designer is going to lay out the book for you for free in just a day. Make something that means something with Shutterfly. Enjoy 40% off orders over $29 with promo code SMALLTOWN. See site for promotional details.
And now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely. And parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/Wondery.
This week, in Villa Park, Illinois, a woman's disappearance sets off a frantic search that sends police on a mission to unravel her last couple of days. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmy Whisman.
And we're extra excited this week for some reason to be here. But we're jacked up. We're all jacked up. We have tour dates that just popped up, and we just announced, so we'll get into that a little bit later. But check all over the social media. We'll get into it. But never mind that. We have to talk about a thank you. We have to thank people for their iTunes reviews this week. Thank you, folks, so much. It means the world to us. If you haven't done it yet, please get on iTunes or Apple Podcast or whatever the hell they want to call it now. That little purple thing on your phone.
The purple podcast icon.
Go on there and click on write a review and give us 5 stars. It doesn't matter what you say in the review because it's not for our egos. It really isn't. It's for business. It helps us on the iTunes charts. We're not sure why, but it does. So please do that. And if that's not good enough for you, if you want to be a special person, one of our producers,
who there's a lot of them
we love so much, and we'll talk about it at the end of the show, that can be done so easily by going to patreon.com/crimeinsports or heading over to PayPal using our email address crimeinsports@gmail.com. And you can make a one-time donation over there, or you can go over to shutupandgivememurder.com, which has links to both of those things. Also links to our merchandise, t-shirts, mugs, all that good stuff, blankets and bath
throw
mats,
rugs, whatever.
you name it.
Yeah.
It's on there. All that stuff, anything you want about us. And also there'll be links there to our tour dates, which are coming up this fall. We are October through the middle of December on a hell tour across this godforsaken United States.
And it is fucking bananas what we have to put out to do that.
It's ridiculous.
You guys better come to these shows. Come hang out with us.
Please do that, because it's literally it's just silly. We named off all the cities, and check out our social media at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Murder on Instagram, Small Town Pod on Facebook. Check that for all the dates and see where we are exactly in your city.
Pre-sale tickets go on sale August 10th at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. That is what, Saturday?
I
think
have
that's
no idea.
Saturday.
I think
I'm pretty
so.
sure that's fucking Saturday.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's
August
Saturday.
10th is pre-sale. Go get them.
Yeah.
Promo code Murder Small.
Yeah, do that, and please come to these shows, because we're frightened, frankly. So please come out to them and make this worth it. Because if I have to cram myself in a fucking coach seat and fly 4 straight days like some of these fucking things call for, and there's nobody there, I will burn that place to the fucking ground. I'm not kidding.
You guys like the Wilbur?
We will call our agent on FaceTime and fucking fire him for setting it up while in front of the crowd.
While I'm pouring diesel all over the stage.
Yes, and you will see me jumping around like a maniac with my hair being the first thing that'll be on fire, and then the rest of the stage.
James will use his head to ignite the
That's
flame.
right. Don't worry, I'll tell you folks to scatter first, but that's all it's going to be. Scatter! And then that's flames, baby, so show up. If you show up and it's half full, maybe leave, because it's going to get dangerous.
As flames are tickling the red velvet curtains.
But come on out, some nice venues and stuff like that. But we got to get to the disclaimer, because we have a wild story to this week. A really twisty, weird, unexpected kind of a story in the Chicago suburbs. So it'll be a good time. Since speaking of Chicago, we'll be in Chicago in an enormous fucking venue. So please come there. Full transparency. That's why I'm doing this show. Try to drum up. I got to do a Michigan one. I got to drum up interest in all of these. That's why I've saved those states for. I'm not a. This is to say it. So anyway. This is a comedy podcast.
Can you tell we're scared?
Yeah. This is a comedy podcast, is the disclaimer. We do this. We talk about murder. That's what we talk about. It's murder in small towns, but it's not. We don't make fun of the victims or the victims' families. We're assholes, but we're not scumbags.
That's the truth.
That's the truth. Yeah. We make fun of small towns. We make fun of bumbling police forces, murderers. Yeah. I think that's fine to make fun of. I mean, who the hell cares if you make fun of murderers? This is what we do here. It's like we've said before, and Jimmy always laughs. It's not that bad. Yeah. Because people think, comedy and true crime. Oh my God, there's going to be a baby's head over there, and they're going to be making fun of its torso. Right. No, that's not how we operate. It really, really isn't. So stick around. If that sounds good to you, we're going to have fun. If you think that true crime and comedy should never cross paths, no matter what, then you're not going to like the show. Period. So you should probably take off now. Yeah. Hit that unsubscribe button.
Not just the show. You're going to dislike me.
You're going to like us. You're going to dislike us personally, and you probably don't like life, your friends, your children, or your family either. So sorry about that. Yeah. Sorry for your misery. Have a good one. Don't let the door hit you. But for the rest of you amazingly fun, fine people out there, I know what you're saying right now. You're saying, shut up and give me murder. Let's do it. Let's go on a trip, Jimmy.
Fantastic.
What do you say? Let's go on a trip. We're going... Oh boy, we're coming from Nevada last week with the craziest goddamn story ever. Thank you guys also for everybody's discussions on the theories this week. It's so crazy, that case, and I'll discuss it very briefly. If you haven't listened to last week's podcast, you should probably listen to it, because we're going to talk more about this. We're trying to work on like a bigger project around this case, because it's just that crazy. It's serial fuck the West Memphis 3 is what it is. It's insane. A couple of things. We've had people have theories about the snow and the blanket and where's the blood trail, and maybe he got shot outside and stumbled in and whatever.
Backward walking.
Yeah, he stumbled in but didn't leave any blood because he had a blanket on and it soaked it all up, which is kind of suspect. And there's no theory that says he got shot on the outside either. The thing that bothered me the most is I went back and I was reading more shit on this that we didn't have time for last week, because that could have been a 10-parter. Sure. But and it just might be someday. We don't know what medium yet, but it's possible. So one thing that they said is the Michael Owings kid that testified against him and said that the Brian Simmons told him that he murdered Jason. That kid the way the prosecution justified why he testified, they said it wasn't for his own benefit, even though he was facing drug charges and this got him off. They likened it to another case because they cite case law. They likened it to another case where a 12-year-old babysitter found a large amount of cocaine and heroin in the house she was babysitting and called the cops to say she found drugs, and they came over. No. They literally said, this is the same thing. This is just a good Samaritan, literally just calling something out for the betterment of society. And it's like, no, this is a kid saving his own ass on drug charges. What are you fucking talking about?
One thing's murder, and the other thing's a bit of drugs.
It's so shady, man. It's ridiculous, but never mind that. Sorry, we had to just touch on that. Because listen to that episode and keep sharing your theories, and we'll keep talking about it. But we're going on a trip all the way from Nevada to Villa Park, Illinois, which is, like we said, northeastern Illinois.
One word, Villa Park?
Villa Park, 2 words. Okay. And I would think, first I'm like, maybe it's Via, but then I'm like, no, it's Illinois.
It's white people.
Can you imagine someone saying Via in a Chicago accent? That's not good. Yeah, Via, that's not
in
nasally.
In the city of Chicago, I could, because there's some cultured folks there.
Yeah, I mean, not with that accent.
No,
though. Yeah,
that's an ugly accent.
They've lost that accent if they're cultured. That's the first part of being cultured is losing your Chicago accent and learning to, inhale through your nose when you breathe, when you speak, and not just hold it together tight. It's a fine art. And that goes for, and I'm not talking shit about Chicago, that goes for New York too. Yeah. Hear my accent? Yeah. Very, very small. Listen to my brother talk. You've heard him. Doesn't sound like me, does he? No. Grew up in the same fucking house. That tells you that right there.
Fucking Guido.
Yeah. What are you doing over there? It's exactly. Then there's me. So I'm working on it. So trust me. If I can do it, you can do it.
He loves dick jokes.
He loves a good dick joke, my brother. Good for him. Gotta love a guy who likes a good dick joke. So this is in, like we said, the Chicago burbs. It's about 25 minutes to Chicago to get downtown here. About an hour and a half to Milwaukee. About 4.5 hours to Detroit from there. So, in the middle there. It's in DuPage County. Zip code 60181. Area code 630 and 331.
Oh.
They're going to expand it.
You betcha.
And I have 2 there. It is 4.76 square miles. There's a little bit of that's water, but it's mostly just all land. And the motto here, the motto on their website is, quote, the Garden Village. Well, that's what that's,
I suppose.
The Garden. They're very supposed of that. The Garden Village.
Because there's already the Garden City.
That's good. No, this is the Garden Village. And their alternate motto that you got to go 3 pages into their website to get to this one. It's, quote, we live 25 minutes from Chicago and we all work in Chicago and root for the teams, but we all still hate Chicago, which is a very odd
We'll claim Chicago if they win.
Yeah, but it's just funny if you know anybody in Chicago. If they don't live in the city of Chicago, they love everything about Chicago, but fucking hate They hate it. They're like, fucking piece of shit, scumbag, fucking shit. They hate it. It's like, why do you live here? Why do you live on the outskirts of this place? It makes no sense.
If you live that close to it, everything still feels like Chicago. The outdoors. You walk out your door and it feels like Chicago.
It's fucking Chicago, man. So, the Garden Village sounds more like there's nice parks. So I think that's
of trees.
It's a better motto.
Lots of green shit.
Yeah. We don't need to know your internal monologue, I guess. I guess Villa Park was once obviously an open prairie at one point before people settled it. I had a ton of Indian trails and that sort of thing. That was the main. It was just an open plain from the lake was pretty close. So
sure.
People just back and forth from the water. That's all it was. A walk through. Yeah. And now it's a flyover. Before it was a trail through.
Trot through.
Yeah, trot through. There it is, right there. The trot through states they call them. The natives did. By the mid 1800s, there were about 15 white families in the area of Villa Park. So that was
then it got dangerous.
They were mostly German settlers who came looking for farmland.
You bet.
So they were pretty peaceful people. There was no Jews around to round up, so they were kept at bay with that. That was good. Sorry, Germans. We don't mean that, but it's hard to resist a German.
Well, it's just,
there's no joke in them looking for farmland, so I have to find something.
No.
Sorry.
You got to see the fucking humor in how much you guys are just fucking hostile.
Oh, yeah, you're hostile. hostile.
Jesus, you're a hostile group. And you put too many together and they'd fight everybody.
They did it twice.
Willingly.
Twice in 30 years.
Yeah.
We were like, let's try again.
Let's do it again.
I know the whole thing was a disaster.
Verse, same as the first.
And the result of it was us paying for a loaf of bread with a wheelbarrow full of money. But let's try it again.
Yeah.
I feel like this could be better for us. Sad part is, in the end, Germany ended up making out, but they had to be completely destroyed first and rebuilt from the outside. So, sorry, Germany.
Yeah.
This was just a bunch of German farmers. A lot of guys named Diedrich and August and shit like that were there because there's a list of the names of people that you don't really need to know. Some of these farmhouses.
You got the whole fucking manifest.
Oh, yeah, I got them all.
Amazing.
Frederick Gray and Henry Bacchus and Diedrich Meyer and August Struber and the whole crew. You know the crew, Jimmy.
Lots of U's in those names.
You know the crew. It's from back in the day. It was that group. It was Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, MC Ren, and August Struber, and Diedrich Meyer, I believe, was in there.
Yeah.
And DJ Yella. So, it's how it works. So, Ovaltine is the real reason this town stands.
Get out of here.
I mean, it would have happened anyway because it's a burb, but the reason why it was really started to be built up was because Ovaltine established its factory there.
Wow.
And they wanted its employees to be able to get, to and from work and all that sort of thing.
Garbage chocolate milk thrived for years.
It did. Oh, man. Now we'll hear about the fate of the Ovaltine factory also.
That shit's more what's the word I'm looking for? When resistant? That's not the word though. It's the other one.
You're what, like
kids? They're often
resilient.
This word. Yes, there it is.
Kids are often this word.
That shit's
turned into the $25,000 fucking password over here. Kids are often this word. Curious.
Fuck, I'm stupid.
Hyper? Resilient?
So Ovaltine's as resilient as that fucking Tang. And
you put that shit in
it took astronauts to keep that shit going. How did Ovaltine it's PBS and shit like that? Because I remember they have it on TV all the time.
Yeah.
It's nutritious chocolate milk. Yeah, but it tastes like you're licking a dog's asshole.
That's true, though.
Gross.
The only time I ever knew of Ovaltine was from the Christmas Story movie.
Okay.
When Ralphie has the thing, always drink your Ovaltine as the code with the decoder ring and all that shit. And I was always like, what the fuck is Ovaltine? And then they make Ovaltine in the show, and I'm like, I guess it's a shitty Nesquik.
Right.
Okay, I get
garbage chocolate milk that had fucking iron in it.
It's Nest shit.
Right.
Perfect. Nice
That's
job.
exactly what it is. It's Nest shit. It's garbage.
It's what they sweep up off the floor of the Nesquik factory with rat poison.
Put it in a container and tell them it has fucking extra shit in it.
It's good. It's healthy. It's got vitamins. The rats must shit some sort of vitamins, right? So, two wealthy men, a guy named Colonel J.L. Calhoun and a guy named Charles C. Heisen.
This is essentially the kids version of the mat shot at the bar. You know that little black mat at the bar that has all the shit on it after
sticky and shit.
And then there was some, I imagine, a frat boy or some fucking douchebag trying to impress a woman was like, yo, just drain that shit into a shot glass and all. That's what Ovaltine is.
That's it's the vat of chocolate. Right. It's the mat slurry of chocolate milk. Perfect. I guess
it's like coffee creamer and lemon juice and a bit of vodka and
half
some
an olive
Jaeger
in there.
Right?
What is that? What the hell's going on?
Why is just the stem of the cherry in my shot?
That's okay. Fuck it. I guess I'm putting it down. Have no choice here.
Right.
So this is the Wander Company of Bern, Switzerland, opened its only American plant, which was Ovaltine in 1917, and that's when shit blew up there. From then on, it was named originally the town the merged town was originally named after the Ardmore subdivision. It was originally named Ardmore because that was another place that was Ardmore, and then they changed the name to Villa Park in 1917, and Villa Park was west. It's a suburb, so there was train lines going in and back and forth that were easy to get to Chicago and get to work. You could pop right on and commute real quick on the train, and boom, get right back to your place.
People would live in Chicago and commute out to the Ovaltine factory,
or the other way around. The other way around. This was like you could. It's almost like they were like, we need a place to put this fucking Ovaltine factory, so we'll put it in Chicago, but where are the workers going to be, and blah blah blah. How about here?
And that shit was Swiss.
Yeah, the Swiss. Yeah, the Ovaltine people were Switzerland.
Fascinating.
Yeah, not too bad here. The population boomed, I guess, got real big in the 1920s. The Aurora, Elgin, and Chicago Railroad were the reason for that, because people could easily travel. Business people were. It's one of those things that was like living quote upstate. It's like they lived like Don Draper on Mad Men.
Gotcha.
Like they worked in the city and then they took the train home to the country, which was 25 minutes away from there, but still it was the country pretty much for that. Yeah. They had apple trees they were giving away at first in the 20s. They were offering 20 apple trees or 200 baby chicks, whichever you like, if you want to buy property here. So which one? That's a weird incentive. Yeah. I've never been offered 200 head of something as a incentive for shit. How about 200 live items?
You get 200 live chicks
or 20 apple
trees. It's still, you've got to fucking work to live here. Yeah. You got to feed that shit.
Here's some work for you to get started on when you move in. I feel like the apple trees are going to last longer and yield for a longer amount of time than the chickens.
And it's a bit easier. You put the hose on it and walk the fuck away.
All right, the chicks. Imagine having 200 chickens. It's a fucking mess.
No.
Yes. But then they built schools and churches, obviously. A 5-cent newspaper came along in the 20s, so that's something. The women's club gathered in a little red wagon as they used for a library until they got a library, which sounds terrible. In the 30s, during the Depression, many of the banks closed, but the Village Park Trust and Savings Bank survived. Yeah. So that made this town kind of solid, that the bank didn't collapse. That helps a lot if the people can, depend on their money being in the bank in the town. It makes them not want to leave. So that helps a lot. It grew a lot right after World War II, when people were moving out to the suburbs like crazy. You come to Chicago, this is an easy place to move. You can still work in Chicago. It's easy. The population went from 8,000 during World War II to 25,000 in 1965, which is their peak population ever.
Let women read.
Because they said, let's let the women read, and then
and it will thrive.
Good things happen from there. Yeah. Anytime whenever you let the women read, I feel like it can only help society. So that's a small town murder message of the week. Let women read. Fuck, man. The Ovaltine Chocolate Factory closed in 1988.
Oh, my God. That's
closed.
A bummer.
Yep. It was listed in the National Register of Historic Places in 1986 and has since been converted into loft apartments for douchebags and hipsters. This is the Ovaltine Factory.
Get the fuck out of here. So they got historical registry placement, and then 2 years later they fucking locked the door.
It's a loft, baby. Lock it up.
That's amazing.
That's probably the reason why it wasn't leveled and why it's still lofts.
I bet they petitioned to get that historic registry thing just so that it would hopefully keep it open, that like it would create some sort of tourism. Maybe it's old.
Ovaltine, little bump in the Ovaltine stock.
Shitty product, but it's old. Come by.
Come on by.
Nobody.
Nothing. Resident reviews of this place that I found. These are always my favorite. I love resident reviews. I found no 1-star reviews on this site. The lowest I found was 3-star. I have 3-3-star reviews. One is, quote, "The residents of Villa Park are wonderful, caring, helpful, and hardworking. The village is mismanaged and its employees short-sighted, manipulative, and a drain on the community's potential."
They got 3 stars out of that shit?
3 stars.
Good Christ.
She had like an issue with the water department is going fucking scorched earth on them. 3 stars. Here's the next one. 3 stars. "Police officers are nice, but they don't seem to help too much. They're always around, but never when you really need them.
They're real polite when you're getting raped."
Yeah. Another 3-star.
It's a good-looking gash he's stabbing right there.
That's pretty good. Good job, Dad. I could see what you were thinking there, guy. Not very helpful.
I like your ass when it ripples when he pounds
Christ. You. Fuck, man.
What the fuck is... how does a cop...
Weirdest. Polite but useless is what they're saying. They're nice but incompetent. Yeah. 3-star review here. "This area is great because it is close to all the major highways and has pretty good public schools. It's also super diverse, so you can get to meet people from all over the world on a regular basis. Drawback are that crime seems to be staying constant." Maybe that's because the cops are running around worried about being fucking polite.
They're high-fiving rapists in the middle of it.
Good job. Look, this place was on Money Magazine's list of best places to live in 2017. It was number 28 of best places to live.
Of how many?
A shitload, 200 or whatever they do. Yeah,
they were number 28?
They were number 28 in between some other small town in Illinois and some small town in Virginia that seemed terrible to me, but whatever. That's just me.
Find a murder in it, would you?
Let's do it. We should. Another one. People in this town, population, 21,969 is the total there. And, there's some varying ones. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger. It's down 1% since 1990, like a lot of the Midwestern towns are just in general. People fleeing, coming to their senses. Median age in this town is about a year younger than the average. It's 36.4, so, pretty straight on the median age. Female and male are exactly at the average, almost 51% female. Married population, slightly over average. It's normally about 50%. Here it's about 54%. So nothing too crazy out of whack. This is a very average suburb of this is any town USA. Very much so. There's nothing that stands out.
Whoever's doing our averages is fucking nailing it. That's pretty impressive.
There's not a goddamn like a circus in this town. It's not built around Santa Claus or some crazy Christmas theme. This is just a town where people live. They work in the city. They come out here. It is what it is. Race of this town, white people, 68.5%, a little over the 63% average. Black, which I would expect to be higher in this town because you're right by Chicago and all that, 3.61%.
Well, it's not them.
When there's a town 25 minutes away from a major concentration of a certain race, and there's none of that race in that town, I feel like that's on purpose. Either they're not coming there on purpose, or these people are keeping them out on purpose. But there's some, it's not an accident.
Or those people are going there to get away from that.
That's what I mean. Like, it's on purpose.
They deem,
because they live in Chicago, root for all the teams, but they hate Chicago. Why? Because they hate black people.
Yeah, they do.
Chicago, we love Chicago, by the way. But it's a
fucking best
pretty fucking racist city, though. It's up there with Boston as in terms of northern racism. We're not even going to count the South because obviously that's a whole other level.
In terms of thriving metropolis that's like a hub of American business, this place is pretty fucking on point with their racism.
It is. Well, there's a difference between northern racism and southern racism. Northern racism is some asshole will tell you a shitty joke when no one's around. You're like, Jesus Christ, they put up with this shit. Southern racism is get them. It's different. That's way different. So it's more scary.
The South just doesn't look over their shoulder when they tell the racist joke.
That's all it is. Yeah. I don't care. Asians, 5.61%, so that's above the average. So, hey, look at that. Not bad. Hispanics, though, is the major minority in this town. It's usually about 17%, 22% in this place. So, pretty high on the Hispanic factor. 72% of the people here are religious. We're going to get about 42% Catholic because it's the North, and there's a lot of Hispanics, and Catholics are the Baptists of the North, as we all know. Some Lutherans, very few LDS, 0.4%.
Interesting.
0.2% Jewish, which is very little considering there's a major metropolitan area right there, and 6.6% Islam. Major influx of Muslim people in this town that came in. Yeah, it became a hub of kind of Muslim culture. There's a lot of Muslim people there. That's a lot, actually. 6.6 is that's why they're saying it is diverse. There's a lot of people from all over the place. About 49.7, so almost 50% Democrats and about 49% Republicans. So cutting it right on the edge there. Unemployment rate is average at 5%. Median household income is actually higher than the national average.
Really?
National average being $53,482, and here it's a little over $70,000.
Wow.
So a little more, but it's a little more expensive too. We'll get into cost of living, as we know, is 100 is average, par, normal. Here the cost of living overall is 113.
Okay.
So it's a little bit high, and mainly because of housing.
Sure.
Housing here is a 118. Okay. So the median home cost here, the rest of the country is about 216. Here it's about $241,000. Okay. So it's a little expensive, and Illinois is kind of pricey around the city of Chicago. Mm-hmm. Chicago itself is very expensive to live in city-wise.
It seems like anywhere you go, when we go to these small towns, when they're up near something that's like a historic place, like fucking Chicago. anything in Illinois, everything's the land of Lincoln.
Yeah.
And anytime that you get a president nearby that's that old and influential in American history, you're going to get some people just wanting to be around that. And just that gravitation seems to drive up property value. Like Boston, anywhere in Maine.
Anywhere where there's a financial hub, too, because there's different markets there, and that's another thing. So there's people with money buying shit, and that drives up everybody else's costs. So definitely. So like we said, median home costs about $241.
Right. Which is why New Mexico costs nothing to buy.
Because no one wants to be anywhere near it or anything that's near it.
Nobody gives a shit.
No one cares. They're like, did they test nukes here? No? Well, they should have, because this would be fucking perfect.
And that might drive the property value up, surprisingly.
Maybe. About 51% of the houses are between $200,000 and $300,000. And if we've convinced you, the only place for you is Villa Park, Illinois. We have for you the Villa Park, Illinois Real Estate Report. I found an apartment in the Ovaltine building.
Really?
Yeah, never mind your average 2-bedroom apartment. I went hunting for Ovaltine apartments.
You did so good.
I found a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 814 square feet garden apartment, they call it. I don't know if you have a view of the garden or whatever. $1,810 a month for that.
Say that one more time.
A little pricey. 1 bed, 1 bath, 814 square feet, $1,810 a month.
That is bizarre.
Yeah, a little pricey.
Give me the fucking logic there.
It smells like Ovaltine still, I guess. I found a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,129 square foot foreclosure! Exclamation point. $123,000. It's kind of a bargain in this place. Found a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,539 square foot apartment or house. $285,000. That's a nice one. And then I found one that's it's fancy. It's nice. It's got all the bells and whistles and fit and finish. 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,046 square feet. Real nice house. $479,000.
Yeah.
So
I'm still hung up on $1,800 to live in the Ovaltine factory.
In the Ovaltine factory.
Crazy.
That's nuts. It's
$2,000 a month. You could live fucking 10 blocks from the beach in LA for that.
No shit. Well, I guess this is in the city of Chicago here, so it's not really the real estate report for Villa Park for that apartment, but it was needed to be said. Things to do here. The butterfly garden is in bloom, according to the website in large letters.
I don't know what that means.
In the late summer 2017, the Parks and Recreation Department of Villa Park coordinated an installation of a butterfly garden in the Great Western Trail. And they said now residents of Villa Park are overjoyed with the results. Apparently lots of butterflies.
And flowers.
They have a sidewalk chalk party. Woohoo. This is going on August 12th, so get on out there.
That's the worst day at my house. I hate when my kids have sidewalk chalk parties.
It's the worst. This is let your artistic abilities shine and create memories with your friends and family. Woohoo.
Come draw dicks on the sidewalk.
That's all it is. We're going to draw dicks on the sidewalk that'll be easily washed away by one squirt of water. So useless. And also the August summer concert series is coming to the VFW Post 2801. So you know it's nothing but the best. August 2nd is Los Ticoleros, whoever the fuck that is. August 9th, the Flat Cats. I don't know who that is.
This is so good.
I don't give a fuck.
Los Ticoleros?
Tequileros. Tequileros.
I got you.
How would you say?
I heard Ticoleros.
Well, either way. Flat Cats, August 9th. August 16th, Mason Rivers. Whatever the fuck that is. August 23rd, Rosie and the Rivets are coming to town. And then August 30th, Mr. Myers. So that's just a science teacher from the local middle school.
He brought his trombone down.
And he's like, everybody sit down. Quiet. Quiet. Flicks the lights on and off 4 times before he starts playing. Jesus Christ.
Instructs them how to cheer.
Everyone, polite and quiet. Make your cheers polite and end them in a uniform fashion. Thank you.
He comes in and sits down. Crisscross applesauce, everybody.
Let's go. Click, 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 click. Lights on and off. Come on, everyone. Chop, chop.
Put bubbles in your mouth. Did you ever tell your kids that at school? That is the creepiest fucking thing I've ever heard a teacher say to my kids.
What?
Put bubbles in your mouth. That means close your lips and blow.
That's weird.
And make
shit.
bubbles in your fucking cheek. They said that to my kid, and I was like,
I've never heard that.
Somebody
thankfully.
says that to my kid again. I swear to God.
That is the worst.
That sounds so pedophilic.
Yeah, I don't want any part of that. Don't tell kids to put anything in their mouth that's not food. and not approved by their parents, for that matter.
If it's not in the cafeteria and wasn't, no, you know what? Skip that. Just don't tell my kids what to put in their mouth.
No, let's do that.
Let's just skip that altogether. Man. Have a sloppy Joe. Tell them that.
That works. That we can do.
You don't have to tell my kid where to put food. He knows.
Jesus Christ.
Put bubbles in your mouth.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard. Crime rate in this town. Property crime slightly below average. Violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, assault, the Mount Rushmore of crime, about 10% below average. So it's a pretty safe little burb. Yeah. If you are a Chicago person and you want to have a nice safe place for your family to go and all that, blah, 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 this seems like a decent place for you. Let's find out about some people who it wasn't such a decent place for. Some people possibly maybe were murdered here. You never know. Or maybe one, or maybe all, or maybe both, or maybe none. You never know. We'll find out, though. Let's unfold this bastard.
Small town murder.
Someone's going to die.
It'd be a nice curveball if you were like, and then he was drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks.
And she survived the night, came out of her coma, has 3 kids today, and a thriving business on Etsy. It's great. She's doing wonderful. Don't worry about it.
See what she makes out of an old sock.
Yeah, that's exactly. Well, let's talk about a couple people here. Let's talk about a Nicole Abu Sharif. Abu Sharif, I'm sorry, Ab Sharif. Nicole Abu Sharif is her name, one word, Abu Sharif, and Rose Sodaro. Okay, we'll talk about them for a second here. Now, Rose, she is about 20 years old, about 19, 20 years old in 2006. Okay, in March of 2006, she meets someone on MySpace, which is, we're going back to MySpace times here. It
wasn't Tom.
No, it was not. It definitely was not. I'm sure he was on her list of friends, but this is a different thing
here. You couldn't
here.
even delete that fuck.
No, you couldn't. He was just there looking at me all sideways like a fucking
school desk.
God, Jesus Christ. So she meets someone on there with the MySpace name of Hollywood is their name. That's the other thing. People with their bullshit names and all that. Yeah, it's forget about what a dark period this was for people, like trying to figure out social media.
Thank God this shit crashed after
Thank
2
God,
years.
So I don't have to read anybody's tiny red text over black background.
And be forced to go to their page and listen to whatever shit music they listen to.
That's the other thing.
Assholes.
Yeah, always have that shit on mute.
Fucking horrible.
So over a period of a month, they went from MySpace messaging to text messaging to speaking on the phone. And then finally, after a month or so, they meet at Sodaro's house. This is, by the way, Hollywood is a woman, just so you know. Sure. We're talking about 2 ladies, not a man here.
And it's spelled Wood, W-O-O-D?
Oh, yeah.
Not W-O-U-L-D?
Yeah, no, it's Holly, I would, in fact, also. No. So they start out as friends when they meet up, apparently. Nothing happens for a minute. But then over the course of the next month or 2, the relationship becomes sexual. Okay. They start hooking up. It's funny, on her phone, Sodaro had Abu Sharif, we'll just call her Nicole, it's easier, had Nicole in the caller ID as Hollywood. So, I mean, right, she's really holding on to that MySpace profile name there. Nicole showed her that she had a Mustang, showed her pictures because she had a 1966 Mustang. Cool. Nicole did, which is pretty goddamn cool. Not bad. I think it's a black 66 Mustang.
Bitchin'.
Pretty fucking badass. Yeah. That's pretty badass. So she would show her the car and say, "Hey, look, I got this cool car." Yeah. Rose says she remembers seeing a guitar in the trunk of the Mustang on more than one occasion. So, she's got a cool car. She plays the guitar. Yeah, she goes by Hollywood on MySpace.
She digs chicks. She and I would get along.
Yeah,
we got a lot in common.
We could hang out with her. She's cool as fuck, man. And probably Rose too, for that matter. So they went for the first time in June of 2006. Rose Sodaro goes to Nicole's house for the first time, and this is when she lived in a town called Lemont. Or Lamont, I'm not sure which one it is. Just say it, whichever sounds better with a nasally accent, I assume, is the way it's pronounced.
Terry on WGN probably knows.
Yeah, Terry knows. Yeah. Well, maybe not. They didn't know how to pronounce El Dorado.
It's true.
So, hey, we had to correct him on that one. Get your shit together.
It was Terry, right? I think it was Terry.
No.
Whatever.
I don't know. I don't remember people I met last week. I met that guy over Skype on TV for 5 minutes and was trying to figure out why they were showing us after a bus accident. So I have no clue. That's a blur. And it was 4 a.m, too. So.
Our time, it was a nightmare.
No idea.
I'm up at 3 to be on WGN.
To be at my house at 4.
For 90 seconds.
Yeah, and I haven't slept at all. And we're sitting there like, are we on yet? What's happening? Is that a shooting? Is that a bus crash?
Gets progressively worse.
Wow. Jesus Christ. Rose goes to Nicole's house, like we said, first time in June 2006 in hold on, Lemont. Yeah, it's Lemont. All right. Okay. So I had to get a little nasally there. So it's over in Lemont. Yeah, maybe Lemont. You never know. So the defendant...
Jesus fuck.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a slight break from the show to tell you about a wonderful sponsor, The Great Courses Plus.
TheGreatCoursesPlus.com.
Oh, man. Who doesn't want to learn new stuff?
That's why they're here.
That's why you're here. You want to hear a story. You want to learn something new. We kind of give you it all because we're good like that.
Yeah.
But you know who else does that?
Yeah.
The Great Courses Plus.
That's who.
TheGreatCoursesPlus.com. It is fantastic. You can explore any subject that interests you. Literally anything. Yeah. From biology to fishing. It doesn't matter. Anything that you want. The Great Courses Plus gives you unlimited access to thousands of engaging lectures presented by the top experts there are. Watch or listen to them from anywhere at any time with the Great Courses Plus app. This is fantastic. I know both of us do this. I spend all my spare time doing this on the Great Courses. If I'm not reading murder books or something, I'm learning about something on the Great Courses. I've been checking out the photography one, the fundamentals of photography.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Because I'm terrible at taking pictures, and I found out why I'm terrible at it because I've been doing it all wrong. And this is so informative and really interesting and awesome, and a change from the mental health and the criminal stuff that we were doing last time. So great. This is a great course to get started with. I recommend this or any of the other amazing courses. And right now, you can get a free trial with unlimited access to the entire Great Courses Plus library. And to start your free trial and show your support for this show, which is very important, all you need to do, very easy, go to thegreatcoursesplus.com/STM. That's thegreatcoursesplus.com/STM. Get started today. You will love it.
TheGreatCoursesPlus.com and go get a free trial. And now back to the show.
Nicole tells Rose that Nicole's brother bought this house in Lemont so that Nicole could take care of him because he is dying of Wilson's disease.
What is that?
I don't know what Wilson's disease is. That is one thing. It doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. We'll find out. The brother is not involved in this, but she says he's dying of Wilson's disease.
Okay.
Nicole says that she is also dying. Now she's dying. She says she's dying, and she's going to move back to New York because she's dying. Okay. So obviously that's where you go for some reason because she's from there. As she explains, Nicole tells Rose that she and her brother Danny were firefighters at Station 67 in New York City. She says she's a 9/11 firefighter.
Oh boy,
that's what she's claiming. Okay. Now in 2006, sometime here, Nicole tells Rose about a group of her firefighter friends from New York, a Gino, a Becky, a Cap, and a Nula, she says, are her friends that she goes to hang out with. Also, Nicole once told Rose that, like we said, that the Wilson's disease caused her to need a liver transplant.
Jesus.
And she had a liver transplant. Rose asked what hospital she would be at while this was taking place because she's like, yeah, I'm not going to be around for a while. I'm going to be in the hospital getting a new liver quick.
I'm going to just handle that.
You know how it is. It's like an oil change. Like, I'm taking my car in for servicing. I figured while my car's in there, I'll get a rental, just go to the hospital and get this done.
Treating this like a fucking physical.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah. So Rose says, where are you going to be? What hospital? Yeah. And she wouldn't tell her. Nicole would not tell Rose what hospital she's going to be at because she said she just didn't. I don't want anybody to see me like that. And blah blah blah. Rose also says that she thinks at this point that her stories about having liver cancer are untrue. Yeah. And also she says that this is the weird part too. Rose at some point told Nicole that she herself had lung cancer, which also isn't true.
Jesus Christ.
So she thinks that's untrue. Yeah. So to retaliate, she says, you have liver cancer? Well, I got lung cancer. I'm going to the hospital next week too, getting a couple new lungs put in. What do you think of that?
These two are so fun.
So this is a
party.
Rose went to a party, speaking of parties, at Nicole's neighbor's house in the summer of 2006. At one point, they were seen in the house kissing each other, and some point after that, this is because that's when they were getting close and starting to have public displays of affection, even, which is that's a next step in whatever. You're not just you're actually together and you're showing everyone you're together. At some point here, Rose's mother does not approve of Nicole. She says she doesn't approve of her, and she wants, now she's only 20 years old, this girl too, so she's still kind of under a little bit of the thumb of her parents.
Sure.
So she actually takes her mother's advice to heart and actually ends the relationship with Nicole at this point, based on nothing but, well, I mean, if she does think she lied to her about having cancer, but Rose...
Also, because it's going to be hard to prove.
Yeah.
I mean, when the girl says, "When are you going in for that lung transplant?"
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Might be time to just
a tough one.
Cut your losses here.
So, yeah, that's the truth. It might have been too. Rose might have told her mother, like, she was going to probably break up with her anyway, and then Rose is like, "Well, since your advice, makes her mom feel good, pump her up a little bit. I'm doing this because of you, Mom. That's why."
This is very much like my lie.
You got through to me. Yeah, it
like
works.
My military lie to the bed puddle.
Exactly.
Very similar.
It's very, very similar, and it gets
as
more
soon as it comes out of your
complicated.
mouth, you got to go, fuck, why did I say that? Now
happen?
I've got some shit to follow through with.
Fuck, I'm going to have paperwork. This is a mess.
This sucks. What if I stay together with her forever and I die, and then she's going to call for like a military burial, and they'll be like, who the fuck are you talking about?
Who are you talking about? Like, no. He needs to go to Arlington. It's very important.
He needs a 21 gun and all that.
You don't understand.
Shit.
Nothing was more important to him than his service. Nothing. It's the first thing he mentioned to me. First thing I heard was to say he was like,
I learned two things about him the first night I knew about him. Jimmy Whisman served in the military.
War hero. Jimmy Whisman.
Lost
war
a
hero.
finger for his country.
That's right. Look at that. Look at that hand. So I'm going to start going by.
Fuck.
How you doing, James? War hero. I'm not going to specify that I was in the military, because I'm not going to steal someone's honor. I'm not going to do that shit. I'm just going to say war hero. They don't have to know what it is. It could, me and my friends used to have firework wars in the woods when I was 13. I was pretty good at it. War hero.
They ask
you don't know.
For elaboration, be like, it's tough to talk about.
That's it. It's hard to say. I'm just getting over it. I'm just therapy and everything, and I'm just starting to. Sorry, war hero.
I can snap at any minute.
Yeah, war hero. That's me. James, war hero. Good to meet you.
That's genius.
Jesus Christ.
I love it.
So hey, they have to get real specific.
Sometimes.
So they start talking again, though, in the fall of 2006. Nicole starts kind of reeling Rose back into her orbit. And in early 2007, Nicole is really pushing through with a lot of text messages, trying to win her.
Yeah.
We'll just say here. A lot of them, but Rose started to be a little bit of suspicious of her at this point. She just doesn't trust her. Yeah. And I could see why. If someone tells you they had a horrible cancer that they actually went and got a liver transplant for, that's not a little thing.
No.
You didn't say I had the flu last week. Right. You said last week I got a liver transplant. That's a huge lie. That person's capable of lying about anything, for Christ's sake.
Go through your belly button for that? Where's the scar?
Where's the fucking scar?
They went in your asshole?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. Jesus Christ. So it's fucking crazy. So, but Nicole repeatedly tells Rose, both in person and in text messages and any other communication that they can muster, that she loves her and that she only wants to be with her. There's a text from February 24th, 2007 from Nicole to Rose that says, quote, "I love you more than you can ever know, but if you let me, I will spend my life showing you." So she's really making a pretty hard drive to the hoop for a long-term relationship, I would say here.
I understand it, but I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like being that desperate for somebody's approval, I can't fathom anymore. I mean, I did it when I was younger, obviously. We all did. Now,
and Nicole, in her defense, Nicole's 26.
Yeah.
So she's 26, Rose is 20. Yeah. And I think from what I've gathered and from what I've seen, and I'm not judging, but Rose is the prettier of the two. She's kind of and I'm not trying to judge anybody, but in every relationship, somebody might be swinging over their head,
right?
And I would say that if you saw the two of them, you'd say that probably she's lucky that she likes her, just based on looks. I would say so. And she's a little younger and all that, so I feel like just Nicole's kind of enamored with her for a lot of reasons, and they seem to get along too. That's the other thing. It's not all about physical here. It's they
sometimes
seem to
the persistent one actually wins, though. Too.
That's the other thing. If you've ever seen a movie, that's
the guy that just keeps coming back. She gets him,
and it might be less creepy. See, I don't know because I'm not a lesbian, but it might be less creepy if a girl is coming back. I don't know I don't know though. Maybe not. See, this is the thing.
Sometimes lesbian relationships are volatile
they are
as fuck.
Well, it doesn't matter. But I would assume they can be as volatile as any other relationship. It's just two human beings that are sharing a relationship, so they're going to be fucking volatile as a man and a woman or whatever. I don't, as we know. Lesbians love us. That is one thing. They absolutely do love us. But we don't know. We don't sit down and
we don't know fuck about you.
We don't know fuck about you. We have no idea.
Yeah.
And we don't sit down and interrogate you because, I don't know, that seems your business. And you don't interrogate me about what I do. So I figure it's fine. And that's the polite thing to do. Right. And I just like to be friends with you. Talk about what we have common interests in. That sort of shit. So I've never done any research on this.
We have a lot in common. That's
we do.
Bananas.
It's great. Yeah. We get along great. With every lesbian we hang out with.
It's true.
Fucking chicks are awesome.
We stay at their house sometimes.
Yes, we do.
Crazy.
Yes, we do. We'll be coming back to Portland.
And I'm so thankful.
Thank you. So, this is getting interesting, though. So she's trying to make a play for a long-term relationship. Now, there's at the March 15th, 2007, we'll start out with here, how to unravel this whole thing. March 15th, 2007, there's a woman named Becky Klein. Rebecca's her full name, but everyone calls her Becky. Becky Klein is Nicole's roommate. Okay. She's her roommate there. She's 32 years old. Her sister is there Becky's sister is there at their shared place. On March 15, 2007, she said she was there during the evening, and she was preparing the house for a family birthday party that was supposed to take place the next day.
Got it.
She said the sister says that she arrived at 4:30, and that the sister and Becky stopped to eat dinner around 6:15 when they were decorating. They stopped, take a dinner break, and then also Nicole was there at the time, but she wasn't helping with the party preparation. She was doing her own thing, whatever. It wasn't her family, so whatever. So the sister Becky's sister leaves this place at 7:20 p.m. She takes off. They've done with the house is prepped for a party.
Gotcha. There's streamers everywhere.
Balloons all over the fucking place. You know how it goes.
There's nacho cheese in the microwave, ready to get melted.
Christ.
Ready.
Fucking fridge full of potato salad. So
yes.
You know it. So this sister calls Becky at 8 p.m., which is 40 minutes later. Which I mean, come on, give people some space here. You just fucking left.
Much, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a bit much.
Calm down.
It's a bit enmeshed, is all I'm saying.
Stop it.
Don't be too enmeshed with your family.
Don't be too fucking handsy.
7:20. She left. Right. Call tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll call after lunch.
Let me get some sleep. I've been decorating shit all
tomorrow
night.
Afternoon, maybe. You never know. But she doesn't get an answer. Becky doesn't answer her phone at 8 o'clock. Now, Becky she has a degree in recreational therapy. She's a college graduate. She works providing services to people with disabilities. And she had just recently in the last year pretty much on her own, I mean, with the resources of who she worked for, but she was instrumental in starting a senior daycare program that helps seniors have activities. Great. And there's also children there also, and they mix the two of them together to try to get the kids to talk to the old people, and the old people get some energy from the kids.
Sure.
It's a really nice program.
That's beautiful.
It's pretty cool.
That's so brilliant.
It's really brilliant. It really is.
It's so interesting how alike those two generations are, yet they're so far apart.
They're so far apart.
And it's really bizarre how interesting that is.
And one thing I would say is kids could really benefit from being around old people a shitload. Like, they really can. You need to get another perspective on shit than just your parents or just TV or just the fucking internet or whatever. Like, I love that I grew up around my grandparents. I have characters because of it, but I love that I grew up around my grandparents like that, because I got to hear a whole other, just a different generation's humor and everything, and it shapes you a little more.
And you see
makes you
what
a little more
life
well-rounded.
does to you. Just
That's
by
the other
looking
thing.
at them going, holy shit.
They have stories, too. They have fucking stories.
If
you've lived 80 years, you've had shit happen to you, man, where you just go, wow, that's a fucking lot. I talked to my grandfathers. They were in World War II and shit. It was like, oh, my God. Like, hearing their stories were fucking nuts. My grandmother telling me about hiding in the hay so the Nazis don't rape her. And I'm like, good Lord, Jesus. This is horrible. Fuck, man. So
I just saw a cartoon character, Italian woman, like dive into on a bed, like
pretty much what it was,
a wheelbarrow bed.
Yeah.
That gets drugged behind horses.
Yeah, like in The Godfather 2.
Yeah. And she sees like the black leather coats coming around a corner, and she sees the glint of the light that flashes off the Nazi swastika.
Oh yeah.
And then she just fucking dives right in, head first.
Yeah, she said, so the Nazi soldiers don't rape you. And I said, oh my God, the Nazi soldiers would rape you? She goes, sometimes they kill people. I was like, oh, all right, well, that's better. Like, sometimes, she said it like, that's you could happen too. Like, that's okay. Like, sometimes sometimes steak, sometimes chicken. It's fine. Like, wow, okay.
Never salmon.
No, never. Too good for you. So Becky grew up in a close-knit family in Streamwood, Illinois. Her parents are Jeff and Marilyn, and her older sister is Melanie, who is the sister that she's talking about.
So she's 32. She lives with a 20...
She has a 26-year-old roommate. Right. She works in, like we said, kind of occupational... Right. I guess you could call recreational therapy, not occupational, but she works with old people.
And her 26-year-old roommate has a 20-year-old girlfriend. And her fucking 42-year-old sister or something was there.
Yeah, her older sister is there. So so this is the scene.
Fascinating gap.
It's a huge. There's a lot of weird moving parts here.
Every 6 years, there's a new person,
and it's all coming. It's all going to come together at once and go. Oh no! So this night, this was the March 15th, 2007. Rose invites Nicole out to go bowling with Rose and some of Rose's friends. Come out with me, that's I guess a date. Come out with my friends. So Nicole invited Rose to her house to pick her up or to hang out beforehand or whatever. But Rose said she didn't want to. She said just meet me out because I'm going to be with my friends and that sort of thing. So Nicole meets the group with Rose and her friends at about 9:20 p.m. They go to hang out. They leave Nicole's car in the parking lot, and they all drive to a bowling alley together in Rose's car. So they're going bowling here, and I think this is in like kind of southern Chicago suburbs, is what they said. They arrive shortly before 10 p.m. At the bowling alley, and Nicole really straps one on. That's a bad thing to say. I said that on purpose. I wanted to see your head. I wanted to see your face. I wanted to see your face.
Oh my God!
Now, if I just said in any other context, because I've said that with dudes drinking before, man, you just strapped it on tonight, like the old drinking, whatever. Not this. In this context, your eyes lit up, and I'm just like,
what did you just
And I
say?
sat here with an evil smile on my face, like, yeah, I said that, motherfucker. Yeah, that was on purpose.
Jesus Christ.
So Nicole really gets drinking. She's drinking a bunch of beers, then she moves on to shots. She's pounding the shots. She is having a good old time at the bowl. She's having a white trash night at the bowling alley.
And this is Nicole?
This is Nicole.
Okay, so she's 26. She's getting shithoused.
She's getting shithoused.
Because Rose can't yet.
Rose is only 20 at this point. So
she's showing her how it's done early.
She's like, this is what you do. This is how you ruin your life. You go to a bowling alley out in the suburbs or somewhere, and you drink yourself into insolvency. That's what you do.
Pour that mat in my shot glass.
Let's do that. Yeah. Cherry stem and all. Let's go. Do it. Slap it in there. Use the rock strap. There's a lot.
Use the tall one.
Yeah. So they do that at the bowling alley. So they hang out at the bowling alley from about 10 o'clock till 1:30. It's a lot of bowling and drinking right there. That means they didn't bowl for 4.5 hours. That means they decided that the bowling alley bar was the coolest place around to.
You can't bowl for 4 hours.
No.
If you don't bowl, you know what I mean? If
you
don't bowl, you can do fine.
Your arm would be so sore if you bowled for 4 hours.
My leg. I bowled for an hour with my kids.
That knee bent.
I couldn't move my leg for 3 days.
Yeah, your goddamn quads are fucked. Yeah. It's like playing full court basketball and you're only running
1 foot.
You're walking 6 feet and then throwing a ball with somehow that hurts your legs. 6 feet and then an arm motion. That's okay. It's awful. So they leave the bowling alley at 1:30, and they leave because Nicole is so shit-faced. They're like, I think it's time to go now.
Otherwise, they'd have been there longer.
Yeah, they'd have kept hanging out, but she's so shit-faced that Rose was like, I better get her home, and she's kind of messy. And
thanks for bringing your friend, Rose.
Yeah, thanks. Jesus. Yeah, oh, she's a catch. Yeah, good. Oh,
what a party.
Yeah, if Nicole's trying to lure Rose to be with her for a long-term relationship, going out with her friends who are younger, especially, so they're probably looking at Nicole like she's a little weird to begin with because she's even 5 years older than them. She doesn't fit into the group, and on top of that, she's so drunk they have to leave the bowling alley. Right. Bad impression.
The gap between 20 and 26 doesn't seem that big.
It's big.
But the life experience that you feel in 6 years is fucking tremendous.
It's 5 blackouts, 2 car accidents, 3 abortions, and a major disease. I feel like that's the difference in 20 to 26, and 3 bad relationships.
And you've seen a murder.
And you've
definitely seen an assault that you don't even know if it ended in murder.
Might have been dead.
Begin. You ran, called the police.
You ran and didn't call the police. If you were 20, you'd have called the police. By 25, you're like, I don't want to get involved. Fuck it. And you just run the other direction. Not my problem. See ya. Go on.
You've seen somebody in distress, though.
Oh, yeah.
At 20, you may or may not have.
No, you might have had a great
life. At a party, somebody passed out and you don't know.
This girl was still listening to her mother about relationships. I feel like she hasn't seen many corpses. Right. I'm going to go ahead on a limb and say. So Rose drives Nicole home, which is nice. At least Nicole doesn't try to drive home in her shit-faced state, and very responsible of Rose to say, I'll take you home. You shouldn't be driving. They get to the apartment, or they get to the home in Villa Park about 3 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know what the hell happened between 1:30 and 3. I know it's a little bit of a ride it's probably 45 minutes from the bowling alley to the house, but still, who knows?
You never know. Nicole could have been so shit house. She's like, make a left here. And then she's like, where are we going? I didn't mean that. Turn back around.
And when people are drunk in a parking lot after something, it takes forever to get them into the fucking car. They want to hang out.
Them into that passenger
and talk and bullshit and walk over there and then pee in the corner. And you're like, geez, we're going to the diner. You can pee there.
Pull over, I gotta puke. False alarm.
That's fucking great. Oh my God.
I'm okay now.
Yeah, I'm good. So Rose parks her car right in the driveway. There's no hiding or anything. She parks right in the driveway, right next to the front door. So her car is prominently displayed in the driveway. She says also, Rose notices at that point that there's a white van farther up the driveway near the garage, because it's like a big driveway with multi-homes. So there's a white van up there. Rose didn't know who the vans was, and she said that didn't think it was anybody at the house because no one was home at their house also. So they get home, roommate's not there, so they got the house to themselves with it's a couple of drunk ladies out on the town.
Dig each other.
Who dig each other with a house to themselves.
And now from this part of the story, doesn't matter to me, because I can't be placed in that situation and be like, this is great. And good for them, though.
You're already done whacking it, so you've lost interest.
I tugged in the bathroom at the sheer idea.
You're going to nod off in that stool.
I'm gonna go
home. No, he's going to be nodding off for the next hour of the show, guys. So if you hear just a once in a while, that's me waking Jimmy up. Just
or my head smacking the mic.
Yeah, or that one of the two. That could be, or the desk or something. So she sees the white van. There's nobody there because she was too drunk to drive. Obviously, she's there with her car, Rose's car. Now, it's at this point when they're sitting outside that Nicole tells Rose that she has a, quote, kick-ass present for her. They're hanging out in the driveway in Rose's SUV just before they go in. Like you're 16. You're an adult with your own place. Get out of the fucking driveway and go inside. What are you doing? Like, I'm sorry. But also, dude, it's mid-March. It's probably cold out. It's the middle of the night in Chicago in mid-March. It's probably chilly. Get the fuck out of the car.
Well, maybe they're making out and getting ready for it.
I think so. But this is some 16-year-old bullshit. I'd be like, we can make out better in the house when I don't have a console between me and you.
And where there's a warm bed and the gear shift isn't digging into my right
couch.
boob.
Yeah, at least a couch. Something. So she said that, quote, she had a kick-ass present for me. Then Rose says that she reached into her pocket and pulled out a key to her Mustang. It's her 66 Mustang key. And she says, she gives her the key, and she tells Rose that she can come and take the Mustang out whenever she wants. She's basically saying, I'm giving you license to my Mustang.
Free range.
My
car anytime.
It's your car too now.
Did I say range?
I think you said range. He meant rain. It's fine. He knows what he's doing. There's a fucking G in there. And he made back up. Now I'm defending your idiocy. Perfect. This is just what I need. So this is a key to this is Nicole's prized possession.
Yeah.
Like this is,
fuck yeah.
It's her. She saved up for this. Yeah. She has, we'll find out how she got some money.
It's just like when you have cars like that, you don't really give it to anybody because it's not like that car's super.
It's unique.
Like anybody can crash a Subaru and be like, I'll buy a new one.
It's a new Subaru.
I didn't mean Subaru because it's lesbian.
No, I got you.
That was just
it came out. Subaru on the mind. If you're going to strap into a Subaru, strap onto a Subaru, either one. You know how it goes.
But I mean, if you're going to take out a fucking Miata.
Hope you're strapped in. If you crash. A Miata is where you go.
They're so replaceable. That's my point.
That's what I mean. Yeah, if you have a Toyota Celica, it's like,
everywhere.
Who cares? Yeah, that's fine. But if you have a 66 Mustang, if that gets fucked up,
be a little careful
it's
with who you
fucked up
let
now.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, roommate's not home. They go inside. In here now. Go on inside. Now the problem is that Becky Klein is not Nicole's roommate. She is basically her wife.
Oh no.
They are very committed partners.
What?
They've been together for 7 years.
Get out of here.
Yeah, this Rose, and we'll find out as this unravels, but they said they weren't, illegally married or whatever, but they were married. Yeah. I mean, they had their
live-in relationship.
Yeah, all their property was shared. Both their names are on things. They're even insured as each other's beneficiary on life insurance policies. God. They're married. They're a married couple.
Right.
They had no known history of domestic violence or disturbances or anything like that. Cops never been called to the house because they've been, fucking swinging dildos at each other or anything. It's been a fine
or any other weapon.
Yeah, or anything else. I just figured that was the first one thing handy.
Probably the first one.
It's right there. Okay.
They're a little hard.
Yeah,
they
could be
probably
hard.
sting.
Yeah. Never know how big they are.
Never been hit by one, but I bet it hurts.
Yeah, I don't want to get hit by a dildo. I think that's an embarrassing way to go to the hospital and need stitches. What happened? I fell down. It's okay. You can tell us.
I bet we could ask Matt Lauer. I'll bet he's been hit by one or two as a returned gift.
I don't think they'd believe you. That's the thing. Like I said, you'd go and they'd be like, "What happened? I fell down." They'd be like, "No, you can tell us. It's okay." And he'd be like, "My lover hit me with a dildo." And they'd be like, "Why are you being an asshole?"
All right, we believe you fell.
Just fucking tell us you fell and
we
stick with your
believe it.
story.
You hit a doorknob on the way down.
There's a liar in here who needs 5 stitches. That's what they'd say.
Right.
Lying, bleeding bastard.
It's the guy with the rabbit logo on the side of his face.
Yeah, that's the one. Now, Nicole tells everybody that they have an open relationship, and that tells Rose they have an open relationship, and there is some evidence to believe that they did have an open relationship also. Now, their relationship, a little bit of history, like we said, they've been together for 7 years in March of 2007. In 2002, Becky told her sister that she wanted to break up with Nicole, and when Becky tried to discuss the whole thing with Nicole threatened to drink herself to death.
Oh boy.
Is what she did. So she threatened suicide. So for some reason, that's the way. If you break up with someone and they say, "I'll kill myself," you say, "I made a really good decision." That's what you say, because that's the wrong answer to that as a normal person. Becky instead decides to remain with Nicole and ride this relationship out and see where it goes, and this fits into her personality as a caretaker and someone who is in the therapy. It is the way it is.
That's what
teachers,
she's good at.
Teachers, nurses. I'm sorry, I know we have a lot of teachers and nurses that listen and all that, but a lot of times you're more likely to take more shit from people because
you stay together longer.
You have a nurturing, caring piece of you that some people just don't fucking have.
This.
Yeah, I can fix this. Exactly. I can fix the senior program and this crazy drinking lesbian. I can fix them all. Fix them all.
She's exactly the same as an elderly man that just needs to play chess.
That's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Same exact thing. So other than that, though, none of the family, none of Becky's family, and Becky was excessively close to her sister, as we know, considering she left and they were supposed to talk 40 minutes later. They were very close, told her everything. Her sister was not aware of any other disagreements between Becky and Nicole in the 5 years since then.
Nothing.
They've had no problems. They've had no issues.
So the problem was just in the first 2 years.
And then you
could chalk that up to a 19-year-old that got into a relationship early. You know what I mean? Because she was 19 when she met her, 21 at the time she.
Who knows? Yeah.
It's around the time I
she's
tried,
21,
so I get it.
And that's the thing, too. She's 21, and when you're 21, your emotions are fucked up anyway, and your brain's not quite formed yet, and it happens. And I could see that being an issue, but still, anybody out there who says, if you break up with me, I'll kill myself, run. Fucking run away from that person, because that's a bad, manipulative person.
And if you're doing that to people, fucking knock it off.
Knock it off. Don't threaten people.
Therapy.
If you're gonna kill yourself, ask for help, but don't threaten to kill yourself as a fucking move. That's at that point
leverage in an argument. You're an asshole.
Exactly. Right. That's not. I don't feel empathy for you anymore. At that point, you're being a dick.
Right.
You're trying to hurt other people. Then, if you're just depressed, good God, a lot of empathy. If you're just being a dick, fuck you. So at this point, we'll go back to the night, March 15th. Okay. They're out and they're snuggling. She just gave her the Mustang key. Nicole gave Rose the Mustang key. It's at this point they go inside. She needs clothes to sleep in. Rose does, so Nicole provides her with some clothes to sleep in. Rose sees that there's a gun in an open case on the bed.
Oh boy.
Just a gun sitting there in like a gun case that's open. Yeah. Rose asks why it's there. And Nicole said, "Nah, don't worry about it. And it's not. That's just my gun. Whatever."
Went to the range today.
You know how it goes. Yeah, firefighters. You got to have a gun on you at all times. You
that's
never
where
know.
The G was. That's where the G is.
That's range. Yeah, good call. Boom, you found it. And the G is returned to its rightful owner. So she says not to worry about it. Nicole does and puts it on the bedside table. Like that's don't sweat that. I'll just put it over here. Yeah. So Rose is like, okay. Rose ends up he's sleeping over. Yeah. They have sex that night. Rose sleeps over. She said that she slept in Nicole's bed between 5 and 8 times. So she slept in Nicole and Becky's bed between 5 and 8 times over the course of their relationship. She said that Becky was never there when she spent the night there, which makes sense.
She doesn't want her to know.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, Rose doesn't know that they're a couple. Rose thinks it's her roommate because that's what Nicole told her. Now, people think that Becky knows about Rose, but Rose doesn't know about Becky.
Got it.
It's this sort of thing. And for a 20-year-old girl to maybe tell her that, like, yeah, also, by the way, I'm married to like this 32-year-old woman also, but I'm with you on the side, and it's cool with her though. Right. That might have been a whoa, this is too much for me.
It's a lot of
for the
pressure
20-year-old.
for somebody that's 20.
Yeah, like this is all a lot. Yeah. And so so they didn't have any idea. Tough, not a lot of sleep here. And Rose says that her and Nicole woke up between 7 and 8 a.m. And then Rose fell back asleep, and so did Nicole. Rose says that when she woke up, that they watched some television, and after about 20 minutes of watching television, Nicole started getting phone calls that seemed to be a little distressing to her, looking at her talking on the phone. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Bombas.
Bombas, BOMBAS.com.
Oh, my God. These are the most comfortable socks in the world.
So great.
These socks are literally incredible. Yeah. I can't believe how comfortable they are. They're like having a bed for your feet and your shoe. They're amazing. They're so good. Bombas are the most comfortable socks in the history of feet, just like they say. A honeycomb arch support system that provides extra support where you need it most. They have a cushioned footbed, Jimmy. You need your footbed cushion.
Amazing at the gym.
Here, they will cushion your footbed. They have stay-up technology, which is 133 tension levels. Tension levels were tested to find out the perfect tension that stays comfortable and stays in place.
And it does.
And they did a really, really good job here. It's absolutely amazing. Super soft cotton that keeps you warm in the winter, but also cool in the summer. Now, in addition to having these amazing socks, they also have a one pair sold, one pair donated policy.
They do?
That is it. Socks are the #1 most requested item in homeless shelters. That's why Bombas donates one brand new pair of socks for every pair they sell. To date, they've sold and donated over 7 million pairs. Bombas, honestly, are the best socks I've ever had. They're fantastic. They're engineered for comfort, and they are fantastic. They feel, like I said, like little footbeds that make you feel wonderful. What you all need to do, what you can do to get this special offer just for you guys, is you need to go to bombas.com, BOMBAS.com, and you will get 20% off your first order. That's bombas.com/small, and then at checkout, enter the code SMALL. Can't go wrong.
Easy enough. Bombas.com/small and small in checkout. Go get your socks. They're amazing. And now back to the show.
If you like this show, you are going to love Revenge of the Jocks with Martellus Bennett. Join Super Bowl champ Martellus Bennett as he covers a broad spectrum of what it means to be a creative, to be an activist, and an overall culture-shaping world changer. He's no one-trick pony. Listen free to this show each week exclusively on Apple Podcasts, PodcastOne.com, and the Podcast One app. If you love the show, share it with your friends and leave a rating and review. In honor of self-improvement, you may also like the Dr. Drew Show, the Jordan Harbinger Show, or The Good Life with Stevie and Cezanne, only on Podcast One.
Go and rate and review. I love that Martellus Bennett guy. And now back to the show.
Now, one of the phone calls that Nicole receives that is distressing, as Rose puts it, is from a man named John Lawler. He is Becky's boss at work. Okay. He calls. He expected her at work, obviously, that morning, and she never showed up for work.
Really?
So that's a mysterious thing. He calls Nicole at about 11:30 in the morning, calls the house, and it says Nicole says that Becky's not there. So he speaks to Nicole. Nicole tells him that Becky left for work that morning. I don't know what happened. She left. I said bye, and she took off. He says, Lawler tells Nicole that he hadn't been able to reach Becky on her cell phone, and Nicole says that Becky's been having problems with her cell phone the last couple of days, which I don't know why. Okay. Problems with your cell phone, in quotes.
The rice didn't work.
Some shit comes through. It worked halfway. You know how it is. So Lawler, though, says that he's spoken with Becky numerous times in the previous 2 days on her phone, and never had a problem. And also, it was never mentioned to him by her that, hey, in case you call me, because, I mean, she's out doing work shit, picking people up, dropping them off, taking seniors to activities, and they might have to get a hold of her. Right. Never once did she say, like, hey, if you call me and you can't get to me, keep trying because I'm having problems with my phone. Right. Which is what she would have probably said.
I used Uncle Ben's instead of Mahat.
Yeah, I fucked it all up. Right. I needed to get the Mahat. I needed the long grain. I really needed to get some of that, and I fucked it all up. Right. Messed it all up. So he thought that was really weird, and he says that he talks about that Becky drives a white van that belongs to the center.
Interesting.
Which similar to the one in the driveway that night, parked by the garage there, and she was driving it because she took adults to these disabled seniors to activities, and would use the van to transport them. Right. So she's like, yeah, where's the van and where's her?
Reckless as fuck if you're taking somebody else's grandfather, you know what I mean, to go get new shorts, and you got a phone that half-ass works.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So who knows?
That's weird.
Yeah. So now on that morning, it's a Friday morning, March 16th. Also, the sister did not hear from Becky in the morning as she normally does. Okay. As we described, they have a very enmeshed relationship. Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but they talk constantly.
40 minutes apart, they're on the phone together.
Exactly. Right. So she said that they normally talked on the phone while on their way to work every morning. They leave at the same time, call each other on the phone, and talk on the way to work, which I know people that do that all the time. Yeah. And they have a routine of shit they do like that. Becky's mother, Marilyn, says that Nicole called her at 11:39 a.m. that morning to ask if she had heard from Becky. So now Nicole is asking around about Becky. Nicole tells Marilyn that Becky went to work that morning, but that no one's been able to reach her by phone. She calls her mom up and she's like, she left this morning, but now we can't get a hold of her. Did she call you by any chance? Real casual, So Marilyn calls her husband, who is obviously Becky's father. Well, not obviously, but it's Becky's father. We'll reveal it. We know that. I don't know if DNA testing has been done, but everyone seems to be under the impression that this man's sperm fathered this young lady. So anyway, she says, "Did you spoken to our daughter at all? Have you?" And he said, "No, I haven't, and I haven't talked to her at all today." So then Marilyn calls Nicole back to tell her that the whole family is worried because she hasn't called anybody or gone to work, and that is 100% unlike Becky. Yeah. Becky is very on the level. Everything is, she's very together. She shows up on time. She calls when she says she's going to call. Yeah. She has grandpa to the appointment at the time grandpa needs to be at the appointment. She has her shit together, which is, it seems like whenever someone's missing, it's always someone who has their shit together.
Yeah, it's rarely, it's
rarely like, I don't know, they disappear all the time for a few days, or whatever.
Those are the ones that are in the news, and that's why they're in the news, because
it's weird people that
they're
gone. Yeah.
People that are unaccountable it's hard to really nail down a timeline of what the fuck they do anyway. These people, it's like, this person is usually here and they're not, so let's start start looking.
Yeah, let's do this. So Nicole tells the family that she's going to go drive around to see if she can find the work van. Maybe if I drive around and find around town and see that van, that's where she is, obviously. Sure. So Rose and Nicole leave around noon in Rose's car, because it's still there, to get the Nicole's car from the parking lot they left it at, where she was too drunk to drive it home. Now, before they leave, Nicole tells Rose that Becky is missing. She's missing at the moment, and that Becky's boss and father had called her. So she's like, "Hey, my roommate, that lady you saw a few times, she's missing, man."
The lady,
so,
I'm totally not fucking.
Totally not fucking her at all.
Absolutely not.
No, totally didn't need to put.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't know why I just told you that, but for sure not. Never put my mouth on her.
Yeah, no, God, no, Jesus, we're roommates. We keep it very casual.
And the water bill is due, and I'm only paying half, so we need to find this.
It's in both of our names, but it's casual. It's very casual. So as they're driving, Nicole continues to make and receive phone calls. Rose finally drops her off at her car, and Rose goes home. Now, Rose and Nicole were supposed to meet at 3:30 that afternoon to attend a wake together of somebody they knew, which is super weird.
Jesus.
Not Becky's wake, obviously. She's missing, but they're supposed to attend a wake together that afternoon. A little bit later, Nicole calls Rose to tell her that she wouldn't be able to meet her on time to go to the wake, but she wants Rose to wait for her because she wanted to go together to this wake. Very important.
I'm going to be late to the wake, but that motherfucker's not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere. It's all good. It's fine. It's cool.
Why do they give us a time that we have to be there? We could really be there anytime we want.
I think that's for us, not for them. I think that's really for the living. And that really is for most of that. You know what small town murder is? That's the only complaints we get, is that something might have been offensive to dead people or to the dead. And like I said, we try our best to not make fun of dead people. That's just not, I've had violent crime in my family and I don't want people making fun of my dead great grandmother who got her throat cut. I don't want that happening. So, but the whole situation, I'm sorry, like I even made fun of that situation with my great grandmother. Small town murder, it's for the living.
It is.
I'm sorry. Dead people, we have 0 dead listeners. So,
but you know what else we've
never gotten? This show is for the living.
You know what I've never gotten is an email from a pissed off dead person.
Never
not
happened. Once. I would guarantee you that not one dead person's ever listened to our fucking show
or been offended by it.
So, small town murder is for the living. So, sorry if we skew it that way. We apologize.
I kind of side with the dead. I think maybe the dead people are better.
Yeah,
the better listeners. They don't go fucking anywhere.
No,
they stay right there.
They would be the best listeners to have. They're never going to turn it off. I don't know how active they'd be in buying the things we advertise or anything like that, but I think they would. I don't know if they'd come to live shows.
That's a good point. A sticking point with dead people is they never show up.
They don't show up for shit. It's impossible to motivate them. You're like, come out and buy tickets for this show, and you think they want to come. They'll like it on Twitter. Right. I mean, they'll do that, but they're not going to actually leave their coffin and be there.
They'll even retweet from time to time.
They will. Sometimes they get active. So this is fucking. So there's a wake this afternoon. This is a mess here. Yeah. This whole thing's a disaster. Yeah. Not a disaster, but it's just very. It feels like it's like some sort of soap opera.
It's very confusing.
Where there's a lesbian love triangle mixed in with. There's just a lot here to unpack.
There's a 66
this is what I mean. There's a wake and
a
car. This doesn't seem real. Right. There's a classic muscle car and a wake and a good upstanding family with it's way too stereotypical. All this shit. So it's so weird.
This is Cruel Intentions meets Gone in 60 Seconds. This is a lot of fun.
Very strange. Very strange. Yeah, that's true. Well, because you have the one. Yeah, okay. So I feel you. All right. Good one. Good one. So at about 1:15.
All right.
Nice connection.
1:15.
About 1:15 in the afternoon, Nicole calls the mother, Becky's mother, Marilyn, again to tell her that she had found the van. She found Becky's van. She's just a sleuth, this one.
Right.
What a gumshoe.
How did
She's on the case. She finds the van. You know where it was? It was on the street right around the corner from their house. So she said, I pull out to go look for it, and I'll be darned if it isn't right in front of our right around the corner.
Can you believe it?
Isn't that amazing? So it's super weird. So just before, they said that the mother was still saying no one could reach her, and so at this point they said the van's around the corner, nobody can reach her still by phone. The mother picks up the father, the Klein parents, and they go over to the house, to Nicole and Becky's house, to let's see what's going on here. When they get there, Nicole is there, along, and also a Villa Park police officer, who, and this guy found, Becky's cell phone on a window ledge in the basement.
Okay.
Which is obviously strange. Van's around the corner, phone's on a window ledge in the basement. Right. Sort of weird. None of that shit matches up. Right. So Marilyn and they get there at 2:50 p.m. Marilyn and the father, and like we said, the police were already there. So another one here, a Villa Park police officer, one of the detectives said he first gets to the house, and Nicole told him that Nicole and Becky had watched television until 10:30 p.m. the night before, and then they both went to bed. The next morning, she says that Becky kissed her goodbye and left for work between 7 and 7:30. Okay. So right away, she's lying to a detective in a missing person.
Right.
Bad sign.
Did she tell this story in front of Rose? Because
Rose is already gone.
Okay,
Rose dropped her off at her car. Gotcha. She came back, and Rose went home.
Because Rose would have some fucking questions.
Rose
she's
would
like,
be
wait, your roommate kissed you?
You did a what? The who now? Right. So what's that now?
Fucking what when?
What's that now? Did she tell her about bowling? Did you tell her I bowled a 185? I bowled a 185. Tell the cop.
Did you tell her about the mat shot you took?
Yeah, it was pretty gross. Cherry stem and everything. Nasty. So
3 pimento holes.
Nasty. Not the olive, just the pimento.
Just the pimentos.
The worst part.
Ridiculous.
Don't put that in a wonderful olive. I'd rather have a pit in there.
Yeah. You know what?
I'd rather eat the pit than a fucking pimento.
I saw, and Fry's has them. They are stuffed They're stuffed olives with cheese and
they have it with everything.
And fucking an Italian sausage. What the fuck am I thinking?
Well, prosciutto.
Well, prosciutto and cheese
sausage,
stuffed in an olive.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm not Italian. I just know that it's fucking meat
and
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing, prosciutto.
Prosciutto and cheese in a fucking olive is ridiculous.
There used to be in one of the malls out here. That is one of the malls out here used to have an entire olive shop that had nothing but olive stuffed with different shit. It was amazing.
In.
Yeah, I used to buy it for my grandmother all the time and make her happy.
I'm gonna you brought me olives.
Oh, that's nice.
I've got plenty of oil for these.
Oh yeah,
they're going to be all oiled up.
All oiled up. So she's now lied to a detective about her what she did the night before when this person went missing. So right away, if we're listening to this story, right, he doesn't know this at the time, but for us, obviously a red flag that this is a little weird. Yeah. Then also at the same time, another detective, or the same detective, I'm sorry, she also tells him that they'd been living together for about 7 years. They've had a loving and committed relationship, and that there's absolutely no infidelity whatsoever. Because they were like, are either of you seeing somebody else? Because if they're missing, that would be the first place you'd look. Did they run away with that person? Did that person, bury them in the desert? What happened here?
There's a lot of red flags right here. If this cop does a little bit of investigation work. A, she's seeing somebody. B, she's lying her ass off. C, she found the fucking car before we did.
Right around the corner.
Right.
Which is, the whole thing is...
There's a lot of problems and holes in this story.
The holes. So many holes. Jimmy, it's another lesbian joke, Jimmy. Not nice. Jesus Christ. Watch yourself.
That was unintentional.
I know it was. I love that I take Jimmy's innocent statement and turn it into something dirty. That's what I just did. Made it into something dirty. We apologize.
Almost creepy.
I'd say for two dudes who are two straight dudes, I say we've been pretty restrained this entire time. We've been pretty good because we really like lesbians, and not even in we like lesbians.
No.
Like we think lesbians are cool fucking people, and we don't want to piss them off because they like us, and they're pretty tough also.
Also, anybody that likes lesbians because you want to get in the middle of that, they don't want you in the middle of that. So fucking back off.
You wouldn't like it probably. Because I don't think they'd make you feel very welcome.
They don't want anything to do with you, number one.
Really not.
But the difference between something creepy and something not creepy is whether it's fucking wanted. Yeah,
that's the thing, whether you're invited or not,
you
or
could say some
staring
dirty
through a window,
you could
fogging it up.
You can say some dirty shit in the middle
good
of
in there. Just
You say some dirty shit in the heat of the moment, and it's all good. It's great.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I want to watch you do what you want to do. You know, you can say anything.
Yeah.
But if you just say that shit to
You're just
somebody,
filling space in.
Yeah. You do that shit as an opener, and it's a problem.
If you say that in the produce section of the grocery store, it's a complete.
Watch you do what you want to do.
I think it's the overhead lighting. I think you need the right lighting for that. With overhead lighting, it's just the shadows. You're really going to look like a monster saying that.
It's the neon. It's definitely the neon.
It's the neon.
It's the fluorescent. It's the neon. It's
That's
bad
beautiful.
lighting. If it's dark in the room,
It's the neon.
and you're both naked, and she wants it, or he, whatever, however
Hey,
you're doing things,
knock yourself out.
It just depends on the setting.
The setting is very important in this whole fucking scenario.
I'll bet Harvey Weinstein said some horrible shit to some women. But they didn't want it. That's what the problem is.
That's the difference.
That's where the line is,
That's
fatso.
that's the difference between that and every woman loving 50 Shades of Grey.
Exactly.
Because this woman is into this shit.
Because she wants it.
If she was like, please stop saying that stuff, you wouldn't like the movie as much. I fucking promise you that. You're like, this is a horrible movie about an abusive person that tortures a young woman against her will.
I'm calling HR or the police.
Yeah.
Then the movie's not near as good.
Not even
it's not
close.
whackable.
No more. No, not for them. Either way, for us, it wasn't. It's fucking. We don't care about that. So,
oh Jesus.
Anyway, she tells the detective that, like we said, committed relationship, no infidelity, everything is beautiful, picturesque, wonderful, postage stamp, beautiful. That's why it's been actually saved and preserved on a postage stamp, just that says love on it. Right. It's just a picture of their relationship. That's how wonderful it is, and that's how much they love each other. Detective Zorich is this guy's name. He looks through the house and the garage,
like a bad guy,
Detective Zorich. Zorich notices when he's in the garage that the Mustang's in there, which is a thing. It's covered in a layer of dust. The Mustang hasn't been washed in a while. It's pretty dusty, except for one spot on the trunk. Like where you push down on the trunk, the trunk lid. That spot's not very dusty.
Gotcha.
So another officer asks for keys to the trunk, and Nicole says that she only has an ignition key and has never had a key to the trunk, which is interesting because Rose has seen a guitar in her trunk on several occasions, as we've discussed before. What do you think? I put fucking details like that in there for nothing? You fucking goddamn bastards. No.
Also, nobody touches that part of the trunk lid unless the fucking thing's open.
Exactly. Right. Unless maybe you were leaning on it or something, but then your hands would be up there too. So bullshit. So she says she never had a key to the trunk. Also, another police officer says that he went there around 2 p.m. and he says that Nicole was out in front of the house and he asked what happened. So this is the other thing too. All these cops ask her what happens and everything's kind of slightly different to each cop. She said at that point that her girlfriend was missing. She said that they did things around the house the night before, eventually went to bed. She also stated that Becky left for work at 6:30 in the morning. Now, before it was 7 to 7:30. Now it's 6:30 a.m. She tells him. And one of the other detectives who she previously told 7 or 7:30 overhears this too, and he's starting to. There's a lot of red flags going off, or this doesn't seem right. This is the usual time she leaves for work. She says that she went back to sleep this morning after she left and kissed Becky goodbye, and told her of her undying love and affection and wanting to spend the rest of her life with her in complete harmonious bliss. After that, I went back to sleep, obviously. It took a while to get all that out to her, but once I did, I wrote poetry.
It's every morning.
It's every morning. I wrote a poem for her every morning. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. I'm putting them to music, but it's harder to write a new song every day. So I do that on Sundays. Anyway, moving on. So he's telling her all about that, or she's telling him all about that. She explains that she was awoken by Lawler, Becky's boss, who said that she didn't show up for work. She said that at that point, she said she found the work van around the corner about 1:30 p.m. She said when she went to the work van, the doors were unlocked and the keys were in the ignition, and Becky's backpack was on the seat.
She's just setting up a real
is a
head
caper.
Scratcher.
This is this is a caper. Yeah. This is a real whodunit right here. That's when she said, "Oh, well, I have to call police now. This is scary now." So that's when she said she called police and got worried. This this officer also said, another officer said that he overheard he overheard Nicole tell another officer that she definitely left for work at 7:30.
Yeah.
So one officer at 7:30, one officer at 6:30, one officer it's definitely 7:30.
She's a terrible liar.
So she can't keep a time straight.
No.
Just say 7. Meet in the fucking middle and say she left at 7. You
If you
moron.
ever told somebody you had cancer and then couldn't corroborate that shit,
with a name of a hospital,
for sure don't commit a murder.
yeah. She couldn't even say, I'm going to a hospital that specializes in this in another state. Make that lie up. That's more believable than just, I'm not telling you
I'm
where
going
I
to
am.
Arizona for the Mayo Clinic.
Yeah,
I'm getting the fuck out of here.
There's a doctor there that specializes in this exact procedure, yada, yada. I'll see you in 2 weeks or whatever the fuck you say at that point. I don't know how long it takes
when I
to
recover from however long. I got to go Google how long it takes to get a new liver.
New liver recovery.
Timeline.
So, she says, now everyone is there. The parents are there. There's, all this shit here. Parents, the cops. It's a fucking scene over here. Everyone's there. The police are trying to use Nicole's laptop, which is in the dining room. They're unable to connect to the internet. So, one of the cops goes downstairs to reset the wireless connection.
Turn it on.
Turn it off, turn it on. Yeah. Do the old reset in the bag, hold it for 10 seconds with a pinhead. But he still couldn't make a connection. The computer showed that the wireless connection was working, and then it went dead. So then he went back downstairs and saw that now it had been unplugged somehow. So someone doesn't want the internet to work, basically.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't working. He went down, fixed it. Said that it worked. He went back upstairs, and then it stopped working because plugs just don't jump out of walls.
Right.
So imagine that's a problem here. So this is all going on. That's been unplugged. So the police at this point want Nicole.
She's so dumb. Did she just expect her to be like,
it just doesn't work.
We're trying so hard. You've got something wrong with your outlets.
Let's just forget this whole thing.
Like, he's not just going to be like, Richardson, come down here, watch this plug.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back upstairs and check this internet.
Or I'll just take the laptop to somewhere else with internet. Right. Like, this is not a sustained lie that's going to work here.
She's bad at this.
She's not. She did not plan this out. So the cops.
Whoever did this.
Or we don't know. So the police. This one is not as cloudy as last week's.
No.
Let's just say. So the cops want Nicole to accompany them to the bank to find out if there's been any unusual activity on Becky's bank account, because they share a bank account. So if Nicole says, "Hey, let me get all the statements and all that," that's what they were trying to do on the internet. So they want to go to the bank and do that. First, she refuses. She says, I don't want to go to the bank. She says, I need to be home in case Becky calls.
Yeah.
And they're like, we'll leave people here. Don't worry.
Right.
Like, we're not going to leave this place alone for a while.
Do you think we're going to stop monitoring the phones?
Her parents are here, and so are a bunch of cops.
To go to the bank?
We're good. Right. We don't need to send everyone to the bank with you like it's some sort of clown car, stuff everyone in there. So after about 20 minutes, she finally agrees to go to the bank. Now, while all this is happening, she's supposed to be at a wake, remember? So Rose waited for her for a while and then just went to the wake because, she didn't go. So when she's driving home from the wake, Nicole calls her to tell her that if you're pulled over by the police, that you should deny knowing me or even having a MySpace account.
What?
You get pulled over.
Fuck.
You don't know me. You never met me. You've never been on MySpace.
Yeah.
You don't know shit.
You don't know
That's
Tom.
it. Just tell your story walking and fucking take off. That's all there is to it. You don't know Tom. You never met fucking Tom. You can't pick Tom out of a lineup. So later, though, a little while later, Nicole calls Rose to apologize, says that one of the neighbors had seen Rose's car in the driveway, and Rose said, well, who the fuck cares? What do you care? You're single. What does that matter? But Nicole wouldn't tell her the significance of why that's important. Both for the relationship and for, police. Law enforcement here. So she tells Nicole tells Rose that if she's questioned by the police, she should say that she was out drinking with a friend on the night of March 15th. Obviously, that friend is not Nicole. Yeah. And she left her car at Nicole's house because she was too drunk to drive. Like, she stopped by to drop her car off to get a ride with somebody else because she was too drunk.
She's such a bad liar. I see her doing this in the passenger seat of the cop car.
Yeah. Listen, no.
Hold on, officer, I got to make a phone call.
If they pull you over, you don't fucking know me. You don't know me. How many cops heard that shit? Damn it. I'm bad at this.
You've never been on MySpace. You hear that?
Shit. Hollywood, me, no one that I'm friends with. Shit, damn it, now they're going to look at my thing. So this whole thing is a bad lie.
Yeah.
So she also explains to Rose that she wants Rose to say these things because she's just trying to keep Rose from being involved, but won't tell her in what. She just says, I just don't want you to be involved. I want to keep you from being, I'm protecting you, Rose. So Rose is like, this is weird as fuck.
No, she's the slimy car salesman from True Lies.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like, all right, sure. Rose is this. Yeah, I don't. Okay,
this is fucking incredible. So you're going to be a part of it. I can't bring you into it.
That's exactly what it is. All right. Well, I guess that's how it goes. So March 17th, 2007, this is the next day. This is Saturday. Police tell Nicole that they want to search her house now. Now, she refuses at this point, but the police keep saying, no, really, we'd like, she's like, no, we're good. She just said like, no, we don't have time for that. Right. You guys really need to do other shit. And they're like, no, we can cover it. We're going to take a look around. We're going to take a little look-see. She's like, no, that's all right. And they're like, no, really, it's fine. We have plenty of time. And so they went back and forth for a while. And I love, that's how it said in the court document, is that she refused, but after the police persisted, she gave them consent. What is persisted? That's a very broad term in terms of police wanting to search something.
We're going to get a warrant, so
that's what I mean.
It's your choice.
It sounds polite, persisted. It sounds like, no, I insist. Persist sounds like insist. I insist. It's okay.
We just really loved your crawl space.
No, we'll leave the tip. Yeah. Really. I insist. I insist. So, the funny thing is the day before, the Friday, when everybody was there, she had readily consented to search whatever the fuck you want. Go crazy, run around this bitch like nobody's business and search it up. Now, March 17th, still, this is the police finally, they track down Rose based on the car, and they find Rose and question her. She'd been seen by the neighbor, like we said. She told them, the police, Rose tells them that she didn't know Nicole at all, didn't have any personal relationship with her, and doesn't have a MySpace account.
She's stuck with it.
She said exactly what Nicole told her to say.
Wow.
Now, they kept interrogating her. She says that she's telling the truth. She went out and spent the evening with her friends, and that's all it was. Then after further interrogation, she says, okay, fine. Tell you what. I went out the night before with Nicole, but it's totally cool because Nicole and Becky Klein are just friends and roommates, so it doesn't matter. I don't know why you're even questioning me. What's the fucking difference?
Bombshell.
Okay, yeah. So this is she's
as
about
Nancy Grace would say, bombshell
tonight. So fucking lunatic. God, I can't stand
She's
her.
Terrible.
She's the worst person ever. Once again, she'd love to get a hold of this because she'd be like lesbians. Right. She'd be fucking making a huge
godless women.
She'd make more strap-on jokes than us. It would be fucking pathetic.
With zero smile, just that fucking
they wouldn't be funny either. That's the difference.
Face with she looks like a skinny Mimi from fucking what is that show? The Drew Carey show,
Cleveland show, whatever that's called.
Right.
Yeah, all right, there you go.
The Drew Carey show.
It's the Drew Carey show.
That's what she looks like. Yeah, she looks like Mimi lost weight.
That's perfect.
Fuck you, Nancy.
Fuck you, Nancy Grace. I cannot stand Nancy Grace. Oh, pet peeve of mine.
Her face looks like somebody stepped on a butterfly. Like, you know, it's just a fucking twisted up mess.
I despise every thought that runs through her artificially blonde head. Every single one that dances through it.
If she tightly pulled back face.
If she thinks of a sandwich that she wants for lunch, I probably hate that sandwich. Like, it's probably one I dislike.
If I don't, I do now.
I do now. I don't want to say. I don't want to. If she likes prosciutto, you know what? I'll take back everything I said about prosciutto. Fuck that. Take it all back. Prosciutto's terrible. So back at the house now, that's happening at the police station.
Yeah.
Back at the house, they're still all at the house investigating. So this is all parallel. Nicole now indicates again, she says, I don't have keys to the trunk of the Mustang. Because they're like, we can get everywhere in the whole house. Yeah. There's one place we can't get. Where's the keys to that? So another detective gets in the back seat of the Mustang, and he's like, well, we'll go through the fucking seat. Because you can take a car apart.
Pretty easy.
They're made to come apart, especially those old...
Couple of bolts.
You can, pop those seats out, pop a new one in like nobody's business there. So this guy goes through the back seat, takes a speaker from the, where the speakers go up there from the deck lid, exactly, and pops that out. And what does he see? Becky Klein's body in the trunk of the Mustang. Sitting right there in the garage. It is lying. It's terrible. Becky, is lying on her side in the fetal position with both hands tied behind her back, and there's a plastic bag over her head, this is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
That's a terrible way to go out. That's like a mob hit.
The worst part is that, when the cop said, we're just going to take a look in the trunk, and then the panic that must have run through her body. She must have shit her pants in front of them.
I don't have keys to the trunk. They're like, we'll figure it out. She's probably like, no, it's the speakers, and you don't want to, there's wires, you'll get a shock. Don't go back. Oh, fuck. How do you lie your way out of that one?
Now, this is crazy. So they just spy her through the 6x9 hole on the deck lid.
They pop that off, so then they start digging a little further in there. There's no, so they start immediately. The garage is they're looking at that as let's lock down this garage, check everything. They find no sign of forced entry into the garage to put that there. She had her hands and feet bound together with duct tape, and the plastic bag over her head was also secured with duct tape around her neck. So this is like a terrible fucking like Colombian drug lord mob hit. This is fucking ridiculous. The sheriff, now they get more sheriffs are in there, a forensic investigator. He says that he found the body there. He says that after he found the body, he said that he didn't tell the defense. This is the thing, too. He didn't tell Nicole about this. He sees the body and plays it cool. Imagine popping a speaker off and seeing what I just described to you. A nice young lady bound by her hands and feet with duct tape with a fucking plastic bag over her head with 2 days of decomp on them, too. So you pop that speaker off, you probably had a little bit of a scent coming from there also. You had to play that like you popped it off and nothing happened. And you didn't see shit. Okay?
Nothing here.
No, you had to just be like, he had to just pop it off and be like, well, can't see into there through there. Literally, that's what he did.
Not enough light.
He did. That's what he did. He played it off. And so he doesn't tell, he goes back inside to Nicole and says, oh, yeah, man, it still can't get there through the speaker. He goes, I really, really would love that key to the trunk. And she says that she tells him that all the locks had been changed and that she doesn't have a key. Now, all of a sudden, for some reason, trunk locks have been changed, which makes no sense. So they do a search of the house. They go get a warrant quick because, they have a lot of cause.
Sure.
They get a warrant and they end up finding 2 sets of keys on an end table in the living room and a key in the dresser, in the master bedroom. These are all the keys they find in the house. One of the keys from the living room and the key from the dresser both fit the lock in the trunk. So she had 2 trunk keys.
Very readily available.
She had one on her key ring that she just carrying around, and then literally she had a spare just in case. She had the most keys. I've never had 2 keys to a trunk. Have you?
No.
Just to the trunk?
No.
Because of the ignition key, it's one of those old ones where the ignition and the...
You got the square one for the ignition and the circle one for the trunk.
I used to have a shitty Oldsmobile back in the day that had that. It was terrible. God damn it.
Thank God for technology. One key with buttons all over
That's it. I had an 85 Oldsmobile. It was terrible.
The Cutlass?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It was fucking terrible. I got it for like $150.
Did it come with a grill, like in your mouth?
It was, well, it wasn't hooked up.
It was
a
gangster-ass car.
No, it was blue, and I got it from my stepmother's father, who was like 75 years old. So it's an old guinea car. It rode real smooth.
Yeah.
It was a total piece of shit. You could put a family in that trunk. The trunk was enormous. It was very comfortable, I got to say, for a first car.
Italians in their big trunks. They like them.
a trunk. Well, you never know. You never know what's going to happen.
You never know when you need it.
You got to be prepared. That's all.
Sometimes you got family coming over. You got to go to the grocery store and buy a lot of food.
Right. And then you never know what happens with those families. You never know. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Blue Apron.
BlueApron.com.
Oh, the deliciousness of Blue Apron.
So good.
The wonder that comes to your door.
It's magic.
Everything you need is there. It's perfectly portioned ingredients, everything, your spices, everything you need to prepare amazing, delicious meals in less than 40 minutes. And for a really, really reasonable price, Blue Apron is fantastic. Experience the joy of summer with some of the favorite grilling recipes that are even coming out. Mouth-watering grilling options for summer, like chicken with barbecue sauce and juicy cheeseburgers. Oh, man, that sounds delicious. I would like a juicy cheeseburger. These are chef-design recipes, and they have exciting partnerships, like with Bob's Burgers and MasterChef.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. This is good stuff. As you know, they had the Christy Teigen products. This is all good. You need to be there. So check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free over at blueapron.com/small. That's blueapron.com/small to get your first 3 meals free. Blue Apron, a better way to cook.
Blueapron.com/small. Get free meals. It is a better way to cook. And now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about TrueCar.
TrueCar.com.
Here are some useful car tips you might not be aware of.
Yeah.
A coffee filter and a little bit of olive oil can clean your interior.
That's handy.
Removing excess weight from your car will improve your gas mileage.
What?
And you can place your key fob in your chin to increase its range.
I did know that.
Weird, right? That's weird stuff. I actually have heard that too. Well, here's another tip you might not know about. TrueCar also helps people get good used cars.
That's true.
They really do. I'm telling you that right now from personal experience, because we bought a used car through TrueCar.
Right.
And it was a great experience. Found the car we wanted, got it at a great price. It was at the dealership when I went there, ready to go.
There it is.
It was the best, easiest way I've ever bought a car in my life. TrueCar isn't just for buying new cars. With their certified dealer network and nationwide inventory of nearly 1 million used cars, you'll enjoy real pricing on actual inventory and a simpler buying experience, whether you buy new or used. And with TrueCar, users can see what others paid, so they know if they're getting a good deal before buying. They're also more likely to enjoy a faster buying experience by connecting with TrueCar certified dealers. When you're ready to buy a new or used car, check out TrueCar and enjoy a more confident car buying experience. Some features are not available in all states.
Yeah, that's true. At TrueCar.com. And now back to the show.
So that fits the lock. The set of keys from the living room. Also, that key ring is identified by the sister here, by Becky's sister, as Nicole's.
Right.
She's like, oh, those are Nicole's keys. She knows that. She's there all the time.
There's a shitload of keys on it. It has like that fucking the tassel that goes around your neck that says Reebok or some shit.
Yeah, there's all of it.
Yeah.
So another sheriff here, deputy, he got fingerprints, pulled 3 latent fingerprints from the back of the Mustang that were all identified as coming from Nicole's left hand, which is a little bit damning. I mean, it's her car, I guess. Also, the crime lab compared the duct tape in the garage with the duct tape found on the bag that covered Becky's head, and the characteristics of the tearing pattern indicated that they were a perfect match. So that tape came from there. Again, that's not
circumstantial.
It's not great.
Yeah.
It sounds bad, but if someone broke in, killed her, and left the duct tape there, then they would leave the duct tape there.
That's
Maybe
possible.
they wouldn't take it with them.
Right.
That's fine. Another computer crimes investigator. He goes in and says that he finds all of her shit here with the computer, that MySpace messages
all
that
those
were
out of context shitty messages.
Yeah, that's
no fun.
No, he finds out that she has the screen names Hollywood, Becky, NYFD, Sam, and Tiff all are her. So
every one of them?
They're all her.
Oh, my God.
She's got a bunch of different aliases.
She's a catfisher.
Where she's talking to a bunch of different people.
Yeah.
This guy, the officer said that another guy, a man, had said he met the Becky character that she was on MySpace. They exchanged phone numbers and pictures and met in person on one occasion. And he identified Nicole as Becky.
Wow.
Because Nicole said her name was Becky. So they met. So she's also meeting guys on the side, too, which is super weird.
What is she doing?
There's a lot. Now there's text messages also. They found text messages about, she talks about to Rose about her tendency to get drunk in spite of her diseased liver.
Yeah.
She says,
that's the other thing. You're going to tell somebody you just went and got a new liver.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go out getting shithouse drunk, drinking the fucking mat shots.
And she's like, hey, shrugging.
This is why I got the new liver.
Yeah,
listen, you're not going to use it. Why get it?
One life, many livers. You know what I'm saying? That's my motto that I go for.
As many as I can get.
Many as I can get. Give me livers. That's right. On the hunt for livers.
Unbelievable.
She's in these texts. Nicole referred to Rose as baby and pretty girl all the time. Those were her pet names for her. Nicole said that she loved and needed Rose in these texts, and said she wanted to get a new house so she and Rose and some of Rose's family could all live together. In some insane Brady Bunch.
What is this?
Fucked up scenario. Also showed that Nicole presented herself as immediately unavailable. She would say that she's like either out of town or at firefighter training or at a shift on the firehouse, because when you're in a relationship and you're cheating and the other person doesn't know it and they go, hey, you want to hang out? Want to go to dinner right now?
Let's go pick blueberries.
You have to, that person doesn't have their backstory set for 2 days ago to get out of the house, so they can't go right away. So rather than going, I'm stuck in the house with my girlfriend, she has to say, I'm at firefighter training. So that's fucking funny. And now on March 15th, 2007, the text messages showed that Rose was planning to go out with, or that Nicole was planning to go out with Rose that evening. And she was telling Rose that she was on a shift at the Villa Park Firehouse and didn't think she could get off until about 7:30. Which is funny because 7:20 was when the sister left, and by 8 o'clock, Becky's not answering phone calls. So she did plan something.
That is fucking fascinating. She's texting this woman while she's planning to fucking hurt somebody.
She's like, okay, set up the party. Sister leaves. I'll kill her. Put her in the trunk real quick. She'll be ready by 8, I would think. Right? 7:30.
She drove there with the woman in her fucking trunk. This is unbelievable.
This is fucking crazy. And then gave her a key to it.
What the fuck?
And said, here's this car. You should drive it around.
It's a kick-ass product.
With my dead wife in it.
Yeah. I said product?
Product.
Whatever.
With my dead wife in it. Drive it around.
Holy shit.
Yeah, don't worry about that smell. It's exhaust. It's an old car. Wow, this is fucking nuts. Also, Rose talks about the MySpace postings, because now she's just open to the police telling them what she knows. All of her MySpace stuff was admitted into evidence. MySpace messages to her from Sam, Tiff, Becky, NYFD. All of this originating from the same IP address that is Becky's IP address. The messages all showed that Nicole was... Basically, she was acting like she was all of these other people who all also want Nicole.
Yeah.
So she was like, hey, Rose, you better back off because she's mine.
What?
She was trying to create a market for herself.
That is amazing.
She'd be like, if we like, you know, we announced our tour and we were like, listen, guys, I mean, there's only 1,000 seats and there's already 6,000 people that said they want him. So I don't know if you can get it. You better fucking hurry because like they're gone basically. Like everybody wants this shit.
She's creating demand that doesn't exist.
She's creating demand. So she should have went into marketing. Maybe she would have had a life here.
Yeah. She's got a terrible lie, though, because nobody refers to the New York Fire Department as NYFD. It's all FDNY. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is post 9/11. Get it together, Nicole, you fucking dummy. Watch CNN once in a while.
Yeah, no shit. So, that was just the screen name. Who knows if that person was an ignorant person?
Maybe she was just like,
into firefighters.
FDNY was taken already.
Just there you go. A person who was into firefighters. Yeah. So, she wanted to show multiple people are going for her. She said that she always had people hitting on her at bars, is what she was telling her, and all this type of thing. The text and MySpace messages was like 70 pages of court documents.
Wow.
And insanity here. Now, another detective was investigating the computer crimes. He said that Nicole told him there were 2 computers in the house. She told him that she had used MySpace in 2006, but had stopped using it because there was, quote, too many crazy people on it. Yeah. Which is the fucking kettle pot. Holy fuck. Everybody is black as night. This is fucking crazy. So, this is the Subaru calling the Birkenstock a lesbian. You know what I mean? This is fucking ridiculous. So.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, couldn't help it.
This is the Birkenstock calling the flannel, calling the Subaru, calling the short haircut a dyke.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Fucking insane. Jesus Christ.
Good Christ. That's amazing.
This detective said that he could tell that several websites have been recently accessed from the Nicole's laptop, AOL, Yahoo, MySpace, and Craigslist. Outside of even Craigslist, because OfferUp's even, that's like that's a time capsule of 10 years ago. AOL, she was even a little late to that party. So Nicole told this detective, the computer detective, that Rose was a friend that she met on MySpace, but she didn't remember Rose's screen name. So I could tell you that I don't even know who she would, we can't find her. Who knows? Finally, she said that she didn't have Rose's phone number and didn't know how to contact her.
Okay.
So she's been fucking her, but I don't know how to get a hold of her. I send up the strap-on signal into the sky, and she races over.
Unbelievable.
And I give her cars. This is the weirdest horseshit.
Dead bodies.
Yeah. So also, this detective does a little more into this investigation because he's doing computer and finances and everything. He learns that the roll of duct tape that was purchased, once you figure out serial number and all that, was purchased at a nearby Walgreens store at 7:34 p.m.
She wasn't even prepared.
March 15th, 2007.
Wow.
She's like, run to Walgreens. They're still open.
Could
Boom.
use some duct tape right now.
What could I have? Plastic bags. I save it for the dog shit, so I have those. So that's fine. The Target ones are pretty big. I think her head will fit in there. But duct tape.
Damn
Walgreens. Perfect.
Everything but that.
Walgreens have duct tape? They have duct tape. Okay. Wow. Another one of the neighbors here, a Ralph Sad. I don't even fucking doesn't matter. Neighbor Ralph, who cares, honestly?
He's just a witness.
He testifies later on that he met Rose before and knew what her car looked like. That's why he knew her car was there the night before, because they were like, "Oh, it's that Rose's girl's car." When the cops asked the police if anybody had been around, he says that he'd seen the car in the driveway all night that night. It was here all damn night till noon the next day.
He had some other things he wanted to say. Those girls get more pussy than me.
Let me tell you something. My telescope works great. You guys like to come inside for a minute? I live right. Did I mention right across the street from these people?
My window goes right in theirs.
Yeah. He says he woke up early that morning on March 16th and went to Dunkin' Donuts, which again, at 6:45 a.m.
After taking a gander through that window.
Taking a gander, fogging up the window.
Saying some creepy shit.
Yeah. Oh, boy. That's right. So he gets back by 7 a.m., he says, and by that time, the white van was parked in the driveway by Rose's vehicle, and then another neighbor says that he left his house at 8:30 a.m. and saw a black SUV, which is Rose's, parked in the driveway, but didn't see any other vehicles there. Okay. So sometime when they woke up in the morning, Nicole realized, shit, I better go move that car. So Rose went back to sleep. Nicole went out, moved the van around the corner, came back in, went back to sleep next to her.
Wow.
And then they woke up eventually and started watching TV and getting fucking phone calls.
What a day.
What a goddamn day. So he says he didn't see any other vehicles, he said, but then when he returned home at 10:30, he saw the van parked on the corner next to his house. So it got moved. So they also said that the New York and Villa Park fire departments said that they have never employed Nicole as a firefighter in either one of these cities. They asked them. Representative of the American General Insurance Company also said that Becky and Nicole were both insured with their company for $125,000, with each woman being the beneficiary of the other's policy. And another one, Protective Life Corporation, they say that they have a policy for Becky where she is insured for $250,000, with Nicole being the beneficiary. Okay. So that's $375,000 worth of life insurance that Nicole is set to collect at this point.
That'll buy
also
somebody a nice house for their family.
I would say that'll, and their girlfriend's family and everybody, and wow. So DNA comes into this. Tamara Camp, who's a DNA expert, she says that they found 2 profiles of DNA that were on bandanas that were tied around Becky's eyes and mouth once they got the bag off, which I didn't want to bring. It was bad enough before. I mean, I'd save that detail. But yeah, had her tied up like you would kidnap, like a hostage, hands behind the back, tied up, and then just put a bag over her head,
what
man.
A vicious way to kill somebody.
Fucking, especially somebody you know. That's a way you would kill someone that that Liam Neeson hunted down because they killed his daughter or something. That's how you would do it, fucking as vicious as possible. Ugly. That's personal, man. Yeah. That's bad stuff. Now, they do DNA on these bandanas, and they find out that the major contributor of DNA is Becky, with some blood and some, everything that was in her mouth. And the minor contributor is Nicole, of course. Of course it is. It's Nicole.
A little bit of sweat.
A little bit of sweat there. And fingerprint expert here testifies that most of the palm prints on the plastic bag that covered Becky's head all match Nicole's palm print.
She's such a dipshit.
And several of her fingerprints match those taken from from the bottom of the plastic bag also, where you would pull it over someone's.
Yeah.
So this is looking bad here. Autopsy said there was no outward signs of injury, no dirt or debris inside the plastic bag that covered her head. So she wasn't.
That's the murder weapon.
She wasn't out. The plastic bag was a murder weapon.
Oh my God!
She died of suffocation.
Get the fuck out!
Suffocation from the plastic bag.
Where was it?
This is fucking horrible. They can't tell that.
Yeah, because there's no blood.
They said that the bag had been tied tightly enough so that no air could have gotten through at all. So it was definitely suffocation, and she had her hands tied behind her back so she couldn't free herself. The state of digestion of the contents of Becky's stomach indicated that she had died within an hour and a half after she had eaten, which is exactly, they said they stopped at 6:15 doing the party stuff to eat. So it's exactly perfect. She's killed between 7:30 and 8, and then got time to have a party.
You bet.
Night out bowling. No wonder why she got so shit-faced. So they arrest Nicole, obviously. They're not going to seek the death penalty, they say right away. I think it's a woman, and it's too weird, I think. They're like, we don't know what the fuck to do with this.
This is complicated.
This is complicated, and we're going to look bad in some way, whether we're against women or lesbians or something.
Right.
It just looks bad to do that, which I guess is sort of discriminatory, honestly, but it makes sense.
It's discriminatory both ways. You know
That's what I mean. It's pretty
discriminatory to go after a woman.
Hey, I'm not good enough to kill. What the fuck?
Right.
Yeah,
it's also like, we can't kill a woman. Well, why the fuck not?
This is crazy. She has a $1 million bond that she has here. She says that she wants to live with her father in Oak Lawn and all this sort of shit. March 23rd, 2007 is when she's officially charged. It's first-degree murder and concealment of a homicide, which is all bad. The actual official charges are 5 counts of first-degree murder, because there's different things that go with it, and 1 count of concealment of a homicidal death. She pled not guilty to all of this. Prosecutors also are now investigating a bunch of recent cash transactions between the bank accounts of Klein and Nicole and all of this, and also the insurance policy and all this crazy shit. A state's attorney, Tim Diamond, told the judge that police are continuing to investigate all this and kind of hold off because there's a lot more evidence coming. Now, their defense for this is that it would be physically impossible because of Nicole's size and health problems that she could do this. They said that Nicole is 5'2", about 115 pounds, and in remission from liver cancer. They actually say that in court.
But she's been drinking so much Ovaltine. She's
strong. Feeling good.
Yeah.
She's got loft. Here she comes. And they also says she has a back that prohibits her from lifting more than 20 to 30 pounds or anything bigger than like a small child, which I hope she's not lifting any children. They said, quote, Nicole never could have carried Klein to the car and lifted her. Okay. Olson, we have a theory on this one. Now, this guy also disputed the financial motive, saying that they had life insurance policies on each other and a home they bought together, and that the bank transactions mentioned were actually a result of the couple moving their accounts from the Lamont area where they previously lived to now the Villa Park area and changing banks. That's what the big deal was. The prosecutor says that Nicole spent an evening that night with an acquaintance, as we know as Rose. He said that also police found some marijuana in the house, and there was also evidence that Nicole abused prescription drugs, because there were several drugs there that she shouldn't have had, basically, and pills that she shouldn't have had. Now, this her lawyer tells reporters that Becky bought the duct tape herself. Becky was the one who bought the duct tape, and that both women handled it while they were packing away holiday decorations. At 7:34, you bought it? Is that what happened? Because he also said he was also mad, this lawyer, that the police held Nicole for 5 days from Saturday to Wednesday without charging her.
Well, I mean, you got to make sure.
You found a body in her car trunk, so you're going to take her in at that point, and then you're going to figure out exactly what she did. So it makes sense. I think that's still speedy enough for me.
If there's ever a body in my trunk and the cops hold me for 5 days, and then release me with no charges, I got no complaints.
That's fine.
I got nothing.
We're good. We're happy. We're
fine.
square. Yeah, especially if I killed someone and put them in my fucking trunk. So her family members declined to give any comment. They said that she appeared shaken and close to tears in court, Nicole did, and she repeatedly turned to her attorneys and appeared to dispute allegations. Like she turned and bitched about things. Remember OJ Stoic, man?
Right.
Her attorneys said that she is absolutely innocent. Her attorney says, quote, she wants to get out of jail and find out who did this to her partner of 7 years and to especially attend Becky's funeral, where I'm sure she's going to be very welcome. She is OJ.
Yeah.
This woman is OJ Simpson. It's fucking insane here. He's his arthritis. He could have never done that. Right. Yeah, it's the same thing. They also said that Nicole's family's trying to raise the $100,000 cash to bail her out of jail, and numerous family members were in court supporting her, several in tears.
Why?
They have no idea here.
What are they doing?
They also, a judge signed an order forbidding Nicole from using her and Becky's joint financial assets to either to bond herself out or to pay for a legal defense.
Okay.
So basically everything she has is gone. She can't use a fucking thing.
It's all seized.
Yeah. Now, March 24th, 2007, Robert Edwards, a 40-year-old man from Elk Grove, Illinois, is charged with obstruction of justice for lying about being in the home on the night of the murder.
Really?
Yeah. Wonder who could have picked her up and put her in the trunk.
Yeah. That's another good point. Why does anybody believe that she was a firefighter at 5'1"? Like,
well, I guess if she's she could probably do it. I
sure
don't know what the requirements are.
Big,
I have no idea what the physical requirements are for firefighting. You couldn't have a terrible back and liver cancer probably and be tiny. If you add all those in together, it's going to be hard to carry a victim out.
That's my point. Is that I'm not even that big, but I'm pretty sure if I'm stuck in a burning building and someone 5'1" comes to get me out, we're both dying in that building.
If Sarah comes to get you, you're in trouble.
We're both
Who's
dead.
That exact size of 5'1", 115 pounds. You'd be like,
we're pretty well fucked in here.
Everyone's dying.
Where are the big guys?
You're going to die on top of her as she's just gasps for breath under there. Help, get off me. So he is charged with obstruction of justice. State's attorney here says that he worked with Nicole at a company that sells and installs security cameras.
Oh, no.
That's what she was doing for a living. They said that Edwards, this is the man Robert Edwards, was at Nicole's home in Villa Park when they arrived to investigate. I left him out for this.
He was there, huh?
He was there too, helping out. He was also charged because he lied to police about his whereabouts the night Klein was murdered. So bail is set very, very high, they said, because it's a murder investigation on him because he's got a high bail, too. I think this is $500,000. He said he was out having fun or doing something, but he was...
not killing people. That's where I was.
How that goes.
Where were you last night? I said not killing people.
You know how it is.
I was just out.
Just hanging.
Just out having beers, not killing people.
Nobody dying around me, nothing like that. Now, April 5th, 2007, bail is cut in half for him, for Edwards here, for some reason. They said, quote, if there are new charges in the future, we'll deal with them. And the judge reduced it from $1 million to $500,000 for the bond here. They said, they talk about, quote, material similar to the bandana material were found in Klein's home and Edwards' Elk Grove Village home.
Really?
They found similar bandanas there. Quote, we have probable cause to charge him with first-degree murder, but we don't want to rush our investigation or decision. So now they're saying that he definitely participated a lot, and those are probably his bandanas, as a matter of fact, which is a big difference of he might have been there. They say that he lied to them about his whereabouts, all of that sort of thing. Also, they take his computer. They claim that he was signed onto a computer in his home, and they said, quote, it appears that when he was on the computer, he deleted his items. So he basically, when he knew the cops were after him, he went in and cleaned his computer, or thought he did. He deleted whatever he could.
It doesn't work, sir.
No, it doesn't. And
if you're not a forensic, if you don't build computers, you can't delete shit.
You don't know how to fucking delete shit.
And even if you do that, you can't do that.
Right. For these forensic computer people know how to find shit. Right. And they said his home, raiding his home resulted in the seizure of a couple computers and the bandanas. Also, they said they stopped him on March 17th for speeding, and in the report, this is before the body had been found and they knew anything about him. In that report, the police said that he seemed to be, quote, very nervous, just in a regular speeding report, which is interesting. He said he hopes to be able to secure the $50,000 to get out of jail. Now, April 6, 2007, this is getting weirder and weirder. Now Becky's family claims that Nicole's family have come in and taken personal items from the house illegally.
Nicole's family did that.
Nicole's family did that, according to Becky's family. They said that they want to have the items returned. They said they include family heirlooms and furniture, and it was taken on March 25th by Nicole's family. And obviously that's not okay. Their attorney, the family attorney, said, quote, "The home is nothing but empty space now. They cleaned it out. The motion asks for monetary value, but what they really want are these items back. How can we put a dollar value on family heirlooms, which makes sense, but I'm sure they sold everything they could for this defense and all that shit. Later, the judge ends up saying that later on he's going to hold a hearing on the missing items, and we'll figure all that shit out. The family, they said they'll end up, it was like Klein's clothing, shoes, purses, a family hope chest, a family quilt, refurbished wooden icebox. It was like an antique washboard, a video camera, which was expensive in 2007, and assorted furniture and ceramic ornaments. The family attorney said, quote, "Becky's stuff is all gone. Money is a poor substitute for these items."
That is fucked up.
All we want is the items back.
And what they really want is their daughter back, and they just erased her from the planet.
No, absolutely.
That's what they effectively did by taking all her shit. That's fucked up, man.
During this time, Nicole makes bail.
Yeah.
So she's out. She's on home confinement in her father's house. She's not allowed to leave unless she goes to court.
After selling all Becky's shit.
That's all she's allowed to do. It's amazing that they let her out. That's fucking wild. Jewelry, too. Sold the jewelry, all that shit. Yeah. September 2007, this is a couple months later now, a few months later, state investigators or state prosecutors here say that they had an original charge on Edwards that say that he lied to police to hinder the prosecution of all of this, and he was charged with so now they have new indictments, and in these indictments there's a grand jury. They announced that Edwards lied to police, quote, "with the intent to obstruct the prosecution of himself for the murder." So now it's a different thing. Now it's a different prosecution. Now it's like what they stuck on Ray Lewis kind of a thing, like you're kind of saying he's in it too. Right. This indictment focuses on the allegation that he told police that he was in an Elk Grove village getting a haircut March 15th when police believe he was meeting with Nicole. The two knew each other from work, like we said. Now his attorney said that he denies all charges, and he says that his client was not involved with the murder. Okay. The trial on the original charges here, now they have a new one, so it's going to be a different deal here. He's probably looking at 1 to 3 years in prison. Each obstruction charge carries a sentence of 1 to 3 years in prison, while a first-degree murder charge is 20 to 60 years in prison. So they're waiting to see if they're going to charge him with murder or if he's going to get dinged for a fucking year in the joint.
I thought you were going to say he was somewhere getting a hand job.
He's getting a hand job.
But even still, how long does a haircut take?
How long does a hand job take?
Hand jobs, haircuts, same difference. It takes about the same time.
Yeah, probably. Well, if someone's not good at one of them.
Right.
So, May 6th, 2008, this is the next year, Nicole, who's been out on bail, is now returned to the jail after leaving her apartment in violation of the $1 million bail.
Idiot.
She was on home confinement, and she was ordered to be held until a hearing in the next week. She's accused of leaving the apartment and entering a family member's home next door, which she's not allowed to do. Right. The attorney said that a detective saw her leave her apartment and photographed her, and he's
staked her out.
They were watching her. He says that he's seeking to have her bail revoked and to have her held until trial, which still hasn't been scheduled. The hearing the next week, she gets to go out still.
Really?
They don't keep her in jail. She's out at her dad's house the entire time. Which is fucking amazing here. Now, November 6, 2008, Edwards has got his whole thing going on here. He told police initially that they were just casual work friends who hadn't seen each other in 3 weeks before the murders. Then they said, well, that's funny. Your fucking phone records show 50 phone calls between the two of you in that time period. There's an interrogation that's videotaped that they show to the jury in his trial. With him, he's confronted with the phone records finally. They're like, it's like heated. They're yelling at each other back and forth. And finally, they're like, phone records, you fucking moron. Don't you realize things have trails? And he, at that point, said, Okay, tell you what. Me and Nicole, we're drug friends. We do fucking pills and shit, and we're drug buddies, is what he called it.
Okay.
Drug buddies, and he said they also, quote, shared wild sex fantasies. Wild sex fantasies. I don't know, like maybe involving dead people and duct tape.
No.
And we don't know.
Okay.
But who knows if that was part of it.
Yeah.
They needed to fucking, but who the fuck knows?
That's bananas.
But that's the shit they were into, or weird shit like that, apparently.
He's trying to double team a chick with her.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. He has no physical, or maybe they both were like, wouldn't it be cool to fuck with a body next to us? You know what I mean? God. Who the fuck knows? There's no physical evidence linking him to the killing other than the bandanas that might have been his, but there's none of his DNA.
Shit, right.
Exactly. But he's definitely circumstantially involved in some way. He faces up to 3 years in prison. Oh, by the way, while this is going on, he, in a separate case, once they seized his computer for this investigation, they also found child pornography on him.
Oh, no.
So he's also in charge with possession of child pornography.
What a scumbag.
In addition to this guy's the ultimate piece of shit.
Yeah.
This is why don't trust anyone to install a security camera in your house, because they're going to send over literally a fucking pedophile who helps lesbians murder their partners.
He's going to send a live stream from your nursery into his fucking bedroom.
That's what I mean. Don't trust these motherfuckers at all. Now, March 20th, 2009, Nicole files a motion in court to try to have all of the MySpace and text message evidence wiped out of the trial. Yeah. She doesn't want any of that shit coming forward.
Well, yeah, she tried her hardest. She pulled the plug, James.
They're saying it's not relevant. They're like, that's not relevant. What are you talking about?
Taking it all out of context.
That's what I mean. The state argues, obviously, that was her motive for killing her, was that she wanted to start a new life with this younger woman, which is what she basically said. But who knows how many people she was saying that to. April 9th, 2009, she's in court. She's denying the charges, obviously. This is the motion of the text messages and all that shit. The judge says that generally statements showing that a person wanted to end a relationship would be deemed irrelevant evidence of motive, which is true, especially if there's no evidence that she had tried to end it in any other way. Right. It's not like, oh, they were talking about it for the last month and, maybe it would have happened here. So the court ended up determining that the state should identify the messages it intended to introduce, and then the defendant could renew the new motion, and then they could fucking argue about that. Okay. So they eventually whittle it down to a bunch, and the trial finally starts on April 20th, 2009, more than 2 years after Becky's dead here. Opening statements, prosecutors say they will introduce evidence that the defendant killed Becky after the romantic relationship deteriorated and she had a desire to start a new life with a different woman. They suggest the motive of not only the new life, but the $375,000. Yep. The prosecutor says, was it money? The love for another woman? Probably both. If you get rid of Becky, you can have the money and the girl. Your love can move in. That's what he tells the jury. He says, and he also says that, you're going to meet the other woman. We're going to parade her out, and you all can have 20-year-old lesbian fantasies about that. All you fucking weirdos in the jury, if any of you are perverts, you got that for you. Now he also says, this is hardcore for a jury. He says, quote, the night Becky was slain, Nicole, quote, Becky's, quote, her life partner, the love of her life, had gone bowling and was at a bar drinking shots before inviting another woman to spend the night at their home. So he's trying to make her out to be a real scumbag, and it's not that hard to do. Yeah. Then he also talks about how, while they were spending the night together in the house, having sex, having fun, doing all this, Becky was already hogtied and suffocated in the trunk of the fucking car. Wow. So the whole time she's been dead. She's been dead while she went out. Yeah. All of this happened while she's dead. Her parents are looking for her. She's in the fucking garage dead. Wow. This is crazy. Defense attorney, in his opening remarks here, he said that they had a good relationship, an unconventional one. He says they allowed a third party into their relationship with certain rules as long as their relationship remained a priority. This was not your normal relationship and normal faithfulness. There is some evidence that this is possibly true of the openness of this. Maybe. There's remember I said they kissed at a party? Yeah. Nicole and Rose, Becky was at that party and there.
And so she saw it.
So she saw it and was aware of it. Other people saw it and she didn't seem to have a problem with it.
That doesn't constitute.
They were drunk at a party. Who the fuck knows if that was
also doesn't constitute fucking. I know I know a lot of dudes that don't mind their wife kissing dudes.
Oh, kissing dudes?
Yeah, kissing other dudes or kissing other chicks or whatever.
Other chicks, that I've seen. But I've never seen you kiss on that dude before. before.
I've seen chicks kiss on dudes before. The difference is like
don't kiss my wife, dudes. Put it that way.
The difference is like they go back home with that woman.
Yeah.
Just stop trying to get more. Get one and hang on to it.
Yeah.
Just one partner at a time, you fucking lunatics. It never goes well.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Have you ever seen somebody with a threesome in their house and it fucking works out forever?
Not usually.
Never works.
It doesn't end up.
Never works.
That's going to end up. Sides will be taken.
Yeah.
Now, the defense is also trying to say that not only is there an open relationship and all that, but that this whole thing is persecution because of her, because of her sexuality and because of everything else. He says, quote, Abu Sharif lied and covered up for Rose because she didn't believe people would understand the nature of their relationship. That was a fear, he said, that it was confirmed because he said the first officer to arrive after she was reported missing said, quote, what is this, the Jerry Springer show? Well, yeah, there's families in this one and that one and fucking lesbians, someone threw a chair at someone. It sounds like the Jerry Springer show. So anyway, the jury trial starts April 29th. The sister testifies to everything.
How many times do you think that asshole's name has been brought up in a courtroom? How fucking depressing must that be?
It is. Whenever there's chaos and white trashery, it's the Jerry Springer show. Like your name is attached to panhandle behavior. Any panhandle behavior that takes place, that's the Jerry Springer show.
It used to be the Richard Bay show, and then this fuck wrote a check to a prostitute, and now he's a TV guy.
There you go.
What the fuck?
For a minute, it was Ricky Lake, too. And then she started being in movies again, and then went away. I don't know what the hell she did.
I don't know.
So anyway, she said the sister testifies to everything that happened. Obviously, she said that Nicole told her she didn't have a key to the trunk either. The prosecutors told the jury about the text messages sent in the months up to everything we talked about with that. They also say that Nicole had never been a firefighter in her life, even though she said that. She said that she told Rose in a text message that she's in poor health, and if this liver transplant doesn't take and she dies, she wants her casket to have a firefighter symbol on it.
Oh my God.
She told her all that shit. Rose testifies about getting the key from the Mustang. She testifies that Nicole led her to believe that Becky was just her roommate, had no idea that they were together. So now she would have to go through and take all the pictures down, and she had to prep when she brought this woman over. That's crazy. I just thought about that. What does that entail?
The amount of work it takes to keep that. But she's a bad liar. You know what? Rose is just young and naive. I don't want to call her dumb, but she is so blinded that she wants this to work. She probably just ignored a lot of shit too.
That's the other thing.
Because the woman's a terrible liar. There's no way she set that house up
for a year.
Right. There's no way she set that shit up like they were just roommates.
No, absolutely not. Well, they also set up here that they say it would be physically impossible for Nicole to overpower Klein, and they don't bring Edwards up in this trial. Really, it's weird, man. It's because they're separate things.
Interesting.
It's super weird. Her doctor testifies for the defense that she suffers from arthritis in her back and received treatment for pain in November 2006, which included steroids and things in her spine, and that in January 2007 she underwent surgery to get rid of her pain, and after surgery she continued to complain of pain and numbness in her leg, and that was the liver.
Got it.
So instead of, she was having a minor back surgery, not a liver transplant.
She's 26 and has a fucked up back already.
That bad to have surgeries. They said that the defense said that it wasn't surprising that her fingerprints were all over the crime scene since they were in the midst of repacking holiday decorations. Right. It's March 15th.
Right.
They were packing them up now.
Packing up what holiday? Fucking Valentine's Day?
St. Patty's Day.
Right.
We're getting it out. It's in 2 days. The defense here also says that their big thing is Nicole's the one who called 911 to say she disappeared. Well, yeah, so she looks fucking more innocent. Right. That's not... How many times do you hear every episode of Dateline, the murderer is the person doing the 911 call every time? Oh, my wife, I don't know, she's not moving. And you're like, you could hear, he's full of shit. Right. And they find out later that, you
show up and the guy isn't even wet and she's in the bathtub.
Yeah, that's definitely. Right. May 1st, there's been...
Or he is all wet.
He's all wet. May 1st, after a shitload of trial, obviously, 30 witnesses, 150 pieces of physical evidence. Finally, Nicole takes the stand for 4 hours in her own defense. which is crazy. She admits she's a liar. She says, no, I'm a liar.
We know,
honey. We know. But she denied being a killer. She says she had nothing to do with her partner's death. She said how they met. They met when she was 19 and Becky was 25. Becky was her boss and was engaged to be married at the time to a man. And following a work-related Christmas party, they began a lesbian relationship.
Awesome.
Which a Christmas party lesbian switchover was fucking hot, probably. I'm sorry to sound like just a douchey dude, but I'm sorry. That's like a drunken Christmas. There was Santa hats on him and shit. That's pretty sexy. How
much does her ex-husband hate Christmas now, though?
Oh, man. He liked that Christmas.
Fuck Rudolph.
He liked that Christmas.
Until she leaves him.
He's like, this is a great Christmas. Now he looks at that card and he's like, man, why did I take a picture of them kissing? This is just going to hurt me. He said they started to rent a house together, and then they ended up purchasing a house together. She talks about all of that. She talks about she was shot in the stomach, she says, in 2006. Why she was shot, we don't know. And the exit wound left her with recurring back problems.
That's what happened.
This is crazy. Also, she said in 2006, she fell at work and injured her back again. And then in February 2007, she slipped on some ice. She said on good days, she could only lift 40 pounds, and on bad days, she couldn't lift anything. Her doctor advised her to never lift anything over 25 pounds. Becky weighed 162 pounds at the time of her death. Wow. Nicole also testified she loved Becky. She said they had an open relationship and that Becky did not object to Rose being in there as long as certain rules were followed. They said for the last year they've had an open relationship because she wanted to. Yeah. She said Becky wanted to have children, but she didn't feel ready for the responsibility. So she said she wanted to kind of mess around for a while, get it out of her system. Then they'd have kids, which is bullshit. She sounds like a dude. Like that's a guy thing to say. She said that she never hid her MySpace communications from Becky, and Becky was free to read any of her accounts anytime she wanted, which sounds like bullshit. She also she talks about how they met at she met Rose and all that kind of thing. She said that the night of the murder, the night that Becky died, Becky's sister came over to help prepare for the birthday party that will be held at the house the next day. She's got a birthday party, and then Nicole has a wake to go to the next day. Jesus. So very odd. She can't wear the same outfit to both things. You know what I mean? So she says that the sister left 7:15 or 7:20, and after that, Becky went to Walgreens to buy duct tape as they were going to put away some of the Christmas decorations that were in the garage. Mm-hmm. She's involving duct tape, garage, trying to put it together. She said as the victim here, Becky packed the items into plastic bins that Nicole tore off strips of duct tape for Becky to use for that. Mm-hmm. They said while they were in the garage that Nicole was texting and making plans to see Rose, and that Becky was irritated by this because she wanted Nicole to stay and help her with this shit. And when Nicole started getting ready to go out, that they said that Becky said that she might stay at her sister's house that night and all that sort of thing. Now, Nicole says she took a shower and then she didn't see Becky in the house again and assumed she was either in the garage or over at her sister's house. Okay. So she's just saying her theory is I took a shower, someone broke in, something happened, and they stuffed her in the trunk. By the time I got out of the shower, I went out that night. No clue.
That's a timeline.
That's a fucking timeline right there, I would say. She goes over her evening, obviously all the shit we know about, the bowling and the drinking. She talks about the van. She gives pretty detailed testimony of shit that's not disputable. Like, well, I saw the van that night. Well, it's like, yeah, so did Rose. So she's kind of corroborating other people's testimony of setting it up. So she's like, look, I'm in line with everybody else's shit. It's just in my timeline, I don't kill her.
Right.
That's the only difference here. So, yeah, that's what she says. She describes calling 911. She says she initially refused to let the police search her house on that Saturday because she had spoken with her father, and her father told her not to speak with anyone and to get a lawyer and don't let anyone look around. Now, at this point, she wasn't under arrest. Her girlfriend was missing. So she should be happy to talk to police and help them find her for her fucking girlfriend. So she said eventually she allowed the police to search despite her father's advice. So that's how that all went. She repeatedly admitted to lying to the police, family, and friends about the fact that she spent the night with Rose the night before, but she only did so to avoid having to expose intimate details about her open relationship with Becky. She says she didn't want to embarrass Becky. Yeah. She says, quote, I was protecting Becky even though she's dead. I wanted to protect her name. It's nobody's business what we did behind bedroom doors. No, it's not.
No,
but if there's a murder investigation, then it's a lot of people's business what happened and when.
Protecting Becky is fucking giving every information piece that you know so that they can fucking find her.
So they can find her. Protect her by make her alive.
Right.
That's the best way to protect her.
Right.
Also, under cross-examination, she admits to profiting in 8 earlier insurance claims, ranging from auto accidents to workers' compensation.
Oh, boy.
That's how she got the Mustang, by the way. She also admitted several other lies. She said to explain online chats with Rose, in which Nicole said she was a hero New York firefighter during the September 11th terrorist attacks.
Wow.
So that looks bad in front of a jury.
Yeah, it does.
She also said she had cancer, and then she said, yeah, I told her that, but that was just a fantasy game that they played. Firefighter with cancer. I play that fantasy all
Isn't
the time.
It hot?
How many times have you been getting down with a lady and you're like, want to play cancer firefighter? And like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Stick that chemo dick in me, mother. Yeah, that's right. Put that helmet on.
Colostomy bag. Hit me with it.
Hit me with your hose, big man. No, it's terrible. So... Closing arguments here, they say the state's attorney says, quote, this is
Don't pull my hair, it'll fall out.
Yeah, please. You know that. I'm keeping everyone. That was over the line. So he says, quote, this is a classic case of a married person carrying on a clandestine affair.
Yeah.
Attacking a gay lifestyle has no place in this case. This is just like a husband with a 20-year-old mistress and his dead wife in the trunk of his car. Yeah. If there's ever a way to break it down
beautiful.
simple, hey, it's just like this with a wife in the trunk of a car, bada boom, bada bing, and we're out of here. Defense attorney said that police never proved their case beyond a reasonable doubt. There's just no other thing that could happen. Right. He also said the only explanation for the crime, this is the defense attorney, is, quote, someone came and God knows what they were looking for. This crime was a tragedy, but it would be another tragedy to convict an innocent person. Yeah. So he said someone came and God knows why, and then just happened.
Somebody came and they were in the garage looking for Christmas ornament. And wouldn't you know it, happened upon a woman.
Let us pray. So, the verdict here, May 5th, 2009, Jeff and Marilyn Klein, the parents of Becky, and her older sister Melanie, and a ton of other relatives and friends are all there, and everybody's been there the whole time. They say she is called by the defense, or by the prosecutor, quote, Becky is, quote, a flower and guards garden on earth, and called Nicole, quote, the bottom of the barrel.
Holy shit.
He made a he really set them apart.
A flower in God's garden on earth.
On earth, yeah.
And she is the bottom of the barrel.
The other one is bottom of the barrel. So during this, Nicole chooses not to address the judge.
Opposites didn't attract, James. This is a conundrum then.
That's what I mean. This is a very...
Why would they be together if opposites didn't attract?
There you go.
This is amazing.
In everything, in every way, shape, and form, opposites are there. I wonder if she was making Becky get her pills from the old people. Ooh,
probably.
That's something. I don't know if Becky would do that, though.
No,
you don't know.
Becky was a good person.
So she was a good person from everything I've heard here. So bottom of the barrel here. Nicole does not to address the judge, which seems like a dumb call. Always stupid. Her attorneys are seeking a 20-year term and says she maintains her innocence, but if she does get convicted, they hope it's a 20-year term. So the judge here says that he has no doubt that Nicole killed Klein, saying that her fingerprints were found on plastic bags and the tape on the binding of the victim here. So she's convicted on this count. She's convicted of murder. Now sentencing comes up. And the judge here, Kinsella is his name, he says, quote, it was her hand that was on Becky's head when Becky breathed her last. Quote, beyond the ken of the court's understanding, he says. And then he says, you, ma'am, may fuck off.
Yeah.
You are sentenced to 50 years in prison.
Jesus.
And she will be required to serve 100% of her sentence before she's eligible for parole. So that is 50 fucking years.
She's going to be in her 80s.
She just got slammed a fucking grant. Pow, take that, motherfucker.
Good riddance.
Wow, that's rough.
People don't live that long in prison.
No, that's right. Yeah, she's going on. She'll be 78 when she gets out at that point.
It's high calorie food, though.
Well, yeah, and
she's
it's sedentary lifestyle. So, she gained a lot of weight too in prison. She was 115 when she went in. I'll tell you about at the end of what she is now. But she gained a lot of weight, and her family
always do. That food is so high in calories.
It's not like healthy shit.
No, it's just shit to clog you up.
Calories. Just to make you survive.
Yeah.
Becky's family here said they spent 2 years trying to figure out how they could have been taken in by Nicole. They said, quote, Nicole was someone we trusted. She duped and misled all of us. They say at family dinners, they sometimes just stare at the seat that Becky used to occupy. It's horrible. The father said, quote, the biggest part is over, but it will never be over because she'll never be here. Mm-hmm. There's an appeal in 2011, and pretty much everybody, it's just go fuck yourself. It's all ridiculous. Her appeals are asinine. Yeah. It's based on the text in the MySpace messages as her main appeal, that they shouldn't have let that in.
Whatever.
They said, it doesn't matter, duct tape, fingerprints, fuck you. Even without that, you'd still get convicted. Right. Now, there's a big blog about this case that I found, and a couple of the comments on the blog, as you know, I love arguing commenters more than anything. Yeah. So let's take a peek at an argument here, shall we? It should be tame from a lesbian love triangle murder, right? Okay, first one, quote, to the family and friends of Becky, I'm a family member of Nicole. I'm sorry for your loss of a great person. I'm no one to judge anyone. I hope no one will judge Nicole before her time. She's a very good person. I'm Nicole's uncle, and I believe she's not the person or people connected to this crime. She's a very loving person, and everyone loves her. I have not seen her in quite, spelled quit, a while, but I do believe she is still the little girl I used to know. I feel she needs to be heard and not be judged by the news on TV. Please give her a chance and listen to everything before you make up your minds. My heart goes out to the people whom it may concern.
Progressive is a great stance to take. Unless you're defending a fucking asinine murderer, that's super progressive, sir.
He ends it, loving our uncle from Arkansas. Now, there's the response to that the next day. Quote, Nicole is a liar. It is very clear she had everything to do with this disgusting act. That was clear in court by her own words and lies. God bless the family of Becky and all those family members of both families who were not involved in this horrific act. Justice will come soon. May God give all of you peace. Next one, quote, I met Nicole online and she also told me the lies she told her lover about being a New York firefighter. She never mentioned she was in a relationship. We stopped talking years ago. I'm sorry for the family of Becky Klein. It's a sad story, and I hope that if Nicole did it, she gets put away. This was after she was already convicted, by the way. Next one, because this is all logical. Next one is, quote, Nicole, you killed Rebecca for money and to strengthen a lesbian relationship. I don't know what that means. God said
that makes the getting money part worse to this person.
Yeah, no, absolutely. God said those who continually thirst for money / wealth, their desire will never be quenched. You should have made wisdom your sister, Proverbs chapter 1, and you could have avoided tricks and wiles of the devil. And then he gives some other horse shit. The few minutes to read this message from God's holy word and versus 50 years you will spend in prison would have been worth the time. The devil set up a trap of greed and lust, and you took the bait. You have ruined the lives of so many people. God said there is no saving beyond the grave. You had better acknowledge your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ while the blood is still flowing warm in your veins, and be prepared to spend eternity in hell.
My God.
And he goes on.
Signed Uncle Rupert. Who the hell is this guy?
It is more transparent that Satan had taken complete control of you mentally. A lying tongue, capitalized 3 exclamation points. Your ability to lie at will is incredible. In this society, killing a black woman is one thing. Killing a well-loved white woman is something else, even if it is white-on-white crime. God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah due to lesbian relationships in the general interpretation of his holy word. You danced, and there's the emoji of the woman in the red dress dancing, to Satan's music. You danced to Satan's music with a fucking emoji of a joyous woman, which led you to which led you to a terrible breakdown. Once caught in the devil's lair like Eve, he's not going to let you go. You must deal with the consequences of your despicable actions. May God bless all the families concerned. And the next comment is just, wow. So the smartest person in that whole string.
I'm shocked that Father O'Reilly didn't give the services that he's going to be.
What an asshole.
Proselytizing.
What a fucking asshole. God destroy. No, you're an idiot.
As soon as he said to strengthen a lesbian relationship, you knew God was coming. You knew it was
coming up.
And what's the difference between a black woman and a white woman?
He was saying that's another thing. Like, it's a higher crime to kill I don't know if he was making a comment on society and how they don't value dead black women, or if he was saying fucking they don't have any value. I don't know what he was was trying to say. But Nicole is she's number R84824. She's in apparently the it says the Logan Correctional Center. I don't know where that is. There somewhere in Illinois. She's up to about 182 pounds on her thing here, so she's put on some pounds in prison, and probably to defend herself, she should. She's got some tattoos. I don't know if she got those in prison or not. But her discharge date is March 20th, 2062. So look forward to that one, because that's a fucking long way away, way out there. Now, little bit of good news. Becky's program about working with the people with disabilities, she'd been instrumental in starting this program, which has now been named in her honor. The program is renamed the Becky Klein Adult Care Program in her honor. There's a fund established also, and you can send donations there. I think it's still open if you ever wanted to. It's Services in Motion, NFP, care of Marilyn Lesak, LESAK, 26 West 137 Prestwick Lane in Winfield, Illinois, 60188. And if you message us, if you actually want to do that, we'll hit you up with that address. But so that's nice. Becky did a nice thing and met with a terrible fucking end.
Holy shit.
Poor Becky. That's depressing as fuck.
I can't fucking grasp it. That's the amount of lies that woman had to balance.
It's insane.
There's no reason she should have ever become a murderer.
No. She could have. Fuck, it's anyway. So
terrible.
If you like that story, and also, like we said, definitely listen to last week's story, and we'll share theories.
Sure.
Please get on iTunes, give us 5 stars. Doesn't matter what you say. It's just for business purposes. And also, please, if you want to become an even bigger, amazing person, go over to shutupandgivememurder.com and follow the links that lead you to either patreon.com/crimeinsports or over to PayPal, and you can use our email address, which is crimeinsports@gmail.com, and you can make a one-time donation there. You can also buy merch, and you can check out all the upcoming tour stuff, which we told you is in a bunch of cities. Check it out. It's a lot, and it's crazy, so
and
do
we're
that.
Terrified and going to have a great time.
Yay!
Yeah.
So
I promise you, these live shows are fucking bananas.
They're great.
So much fun.
Anybody, if you've been to a live show and you're on social media, tag us, because then everyone will see it, and say your experience at a live show. Say how much fun you had, because honestly, people looked like they were pretty fucking happy. So come out and do that. Now, people make us happy, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Certain people make us happy. And you know what I need from you right now? I need a list of those people who make us happy. Hit me with it, Jimmy.
This week's executive producers are, Already? I'm going to do this already. Emily Felker, Chrissy Ann Castaldi.
You didn't even say executive producer right. Never mind.
Did I miss that?
What'd
I say?
I don't know. You said was the producer.
Okay, well.
You were worried about names.
Yeah, this week's executive producers are Emily Felker, Chrissy Ann Castaldi, TJ Daly, Eva Tarowska, Brittany Helm, Stephanie Yeager, who... Holy shit,
she's
how
so cool.
Sweet of you. Thank you, Stephanie. And Christy Brown. Thank you, guys. You guys are fantastic. We can't do it without you.
Not at all.
Kirby Dotson, Justin Inwood, Graham Luber, Danielle Childs, Damon King, Devonport? No, it's not. It's Devonfort.
Devinson?
Devonport.
Devonport?
Yeah, or Devonport.
Jesus.
I write like a fucking child.
Devonport.
Yeah.
Somebody named their kid Devon.
They did that.
Then a very nice person, too.
Yeah.
Named their kid Devon after their... Wow. Okay.
Right. That's brutal.
Jesus.
Tamisha Dorico, Zachary Cornell, Jessica Hartke, James Price, Sharifa Charles. I think that's Sharifa Hay, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
Reagan Dorman, Reagan or Regan. It might be Reagan. It's probably... there's no extra A.
There's no way to know that.
There isn't. There's 2 pronunciations.
I don't think there's any way for us to judge that from where we're sitting now.
Nicole Venaro, Karen Edgen, Justin Higgs. Yes. Elizabeth Smith. Ariana Folsom, mind you, told us to Google her, and she is a model, and that's why there are nude pictures of her online, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why I just said that out loud.
She gave us money?
She did, twice.
Hold on a second. Okay, never mind. Okay. You guys get the pause.
Right.
Yeah, that's The irony and the I don't even know there is amazing, and we love it.
Ryan Foley, Martina Kunkel, Casey Moore, Sarah Shafalo, Cabron, Landron, Lauren Demarath. She's in Chicago. How did I do that?
You went down a long tunnel for that.
That's tough. I'm sorry.
You were digging. There was dirt flying behind him.
She's the one that gave me breakfast. She's fantastic.
Hey, good for
Kate
you.
Myers, Lisa Bayless, Matt. Malt? Why would I think his name is Malt?
Whose fucking name is Malt that you've ever met?
Matt Dietrich is his name.
How you doing? Malt Dietrich. Nice to meet you, Jimmy.
Catherine Grabham or Grabham. Either way, it's an interesting last name. Laura Vacnia? No. Vania. That's what it is.
Yeah?
That's an I is what I wrote.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, the letters.
Laura Vania, which is a tough last name to have.
Sounds like
also.
A country.
It does.
That she made up when she was 8. I'm moving to Laura's Vania.
Or a description of a penis.
Yeah,
it's very Vania.
It's Vania.
Roberta Beyer, Justin Lutker, John Boner or Boffner. I'm not sure which.
Either way, thank you.
Yannick Stager, Natasha Bornstorff. Yes. And then another one, just Yannick, which is, I think, Yannick Stager. He just didn't give a last name.
No. Well, thank you.
So, and that's both donations.
Wow,
Thank you so
amazing.
much.
Thank you.
Stephanie Lagasse, Jessica Leitke, Serena Watson, Audrey Rotenberry. That's it. Todd
there we go.
I'm doing my best.
That. You got it, Jimmy.
Mindy Susan Carlos? Yes, I think. Susan Sullivan.
Ooh.
Fuck, what? No, it's Mindy Swan Carlos.
Fucking
That's
Mindy.
W.
Thank you, Mindy.
Bryant Toole.
We almost blamed you for Jimmy's poor handwriting.
Jesse Hartman. Again, every week that guy comes through.
Thank you.
Marianne S. with no last name. Just the S. I don't
Good
know.
enough. That's fine. We're all right with that.
Kayla Roberts, Amanda McKelvey, Celisa Waits, Gina Egan, one of the Egan sisters.
Hey, the Egans.
Elizabeth Horregis.
Ooh.
It's Horregis twice. It's Horejs, and there are 2 of those words.
Wow. Well,
whatever that word is.
Horregis? That's her maiden name, that she married a guy named Horregis?
She married a brother.
Hey, cool.
Good for you, Elizabeth.
Hey, you know what? Keep the gene pool tight.
I'm proud of you.
Nice
You
work.
figured it out. Invader Zim 7, Kevin Dice. That's it.
Hey.
Steve Crumley, Lee Abhold, Amanda Burke, Colleen Shambaugh, Amanda Waltz, Craig McGeechan, Paul Ruest, Alex Leukert.
You're looking at me. You have words in front of me. I don't.
Alex Leukert. Kate Ives.
I'll buy that.
Janae Compton. Dustin Hines, which sounds like Duncan Hines.
It does.
It's spelled entirely different. Christine Leischel. Aaron Aaron Brzezinski Shipley.
I think she's going to go with Burza fuck from now on. I think that's going to be the new one.
Axel Rojas. Cole Finley.
Axel Rojas?
Yes.
Is that what you said?
Axel.
Oh, I thought you said Axel Rojas. I'm like, wait a second.
I know.
That's
I would have got it.
amazing.
I would have
all right.
found that, I think.
Thank you. Yeah,
I found that as a joke.
I thought you were, yeah okay.
Unless that is the fucking they were trying to get me to say Axel. That's possible.
Maybe.
It's maybe, yeah. Cole Finley donated like 17 times this week.
We love you.
Of like cents, and then a couple bucks here.
Thanks.
And then some cents.
Hey,
it was amazing to watch.
We'll take anything, and
My
we
phone
appreciate
kept going
the shit
off
out of
and
it.
going, Cole is giving you cash, bro.
Thank you, Cole.
Stephanie Ponset, Stephanie Russell, Heather Norton, Madeline Fagan. Her daughter upped her Patreon for
thank
Madeline
you.
because
That's
Madeline
so
doesn't
cool.
want to figure out Patreon. So
well, that's
I appreciate
fine.
it.
Thank you. Thank you and your daughter.
Brad Young, Sean Garner, yes. Chuck Lewis, Chuck, probably a coach. Jenny Chow.
Good coach.
Yeah. Jackie Fuchs, I assume, because it's otherwise is brutal. Rachel Coro, Danielle Leonardis.
All right.
I think. Alexander Calder. That's Alex Calder up there in New York, I think.
Oh, cool.
No, he's in fucking, I think he's in Canada. I don't.
Okay. Canada sounds,
He's around.
Canada.
He's around. Nicola Elliott. That's what it is. Ian McKay, James Bishop, Peter Butler, Elliott with no last name, Joseph Minner, Guido Pip. I don't know what that is.
I like it.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Stephanie Fisher, Sally Averett, Diablo Conqueso.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said Pablo.
Yeah.
I'm a dick.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
ruined a great name.
You did, but
Whatever.
you've corrected it. You got it.
Hannah Bell Lonsdale.
You've ruined Greater names than that, Jimmy. Don't worry.
I've ruined much more common ones.
Yeah.
Haley Robinson Smith, Gaddis, I'm ruining this one, sorry. Gaddis Stallsands, I think.
Damn, cool.
Wavy Sky, which is fucking bananas. That's interesting.
Hey.
One Credit Classics, which is a guy on YouTube he fucking beats games with one credit. Which
cool.
is kind of interesting.
That's kind of neat.
Chantel Thornley Poole, Justin with no last name, Joe Miller, Emmy Dumont, Maya Clarice, Kay Overbay, Clinton Grout, Beth Higgs in the UK. Thank you, Beth. Heather Fowler, Georgia and Jackson, Jeremy Pendleton, Peter Martino, Amy Talia Ferrero. Jordan Henston. No, Jordan Heemstra. Bilbo Scallops? Bilbo Scoopins. That's what I wrote. I don't know.
Bilbo Scallops.
Michael Lane, Alex Eldridge, and Corin M. Thank you guys so much from the bottom of our hearts. You guys are fucking incredible. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
It's insane.
It really is. We're just so thankful and blown away by it. And you guys keep literally the lights on in the house and in the studio and in both our houses and put food on our table. So thank you guys so much for everything you do for us. We'll keep doing all this and we'll keep trying to do something for you and untangle lesbian love triangles. We'll figure it out. Jimmy, what if somebody wanted to untangle your lesbian love triangle? How could they find you?
They won't find the lesbian love triangle, but they can find me at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. And everything you guys do for us is fucking unbelievably appreciated. So thank you.
It really, really is. And if you want to get a hold of me, it's at Jimmy P is Funny. And if you want to find me on Facebook or whatever, you can copy and paste my last name from the show description because otherwise you won't spell it right, or you'll find my dad or something. And even if you do spell it right, you never know. I'm sure he gets a lot of weird friend requests where he's like, what the fuck? And then people look at me and they look at him and they go, I didn't know he was like a 60-year-old guy who rides a Harley. That's weird. Doesn't sound like that on the show. That's strange. He never says he likes motorcycles or anything.
The picture that my friend Herman made of you in the baseball thing. It looks just like your fucking
That's
dad.
So fucking
it's
funny.
Bananas.
That's hilarious. But so do all that.
You're going to look exactly like that man when you're older.
Man. Follow us. Follow it all out. And we will keep coming back. And until next week, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.